Good morning, everybody. It's 7 a.m. on Tuesday, January 4th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect to see clear skies with a high of 59. Coming up on OTB, the Athletics' Brody Miller joins the show at 7:30. LSU women's basketball coach Kim Mulkey calls in at 8:30. And Nick Underhill of New Orleans Football joins us at 9 a.m. to talk Saints. We also have a new edition of OTB Mailbag at 8:15, so get your questions into the Bayou Ford YouTube chat using the hashtag OTB Mailbag. You can follow today's show on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN, or you can watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 1 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome into this Tuesday edition of Off the Bench. T-Bob, Mario, Danny hanging out with you today. No Jake, as he is boots on the ground in Houston. I forgot to talk to him. We'll line up a time with him later today and catch up with him as he'll be previewing things from H-Town. A bunch of people over there. Sounds like it's actually getting pretty wild there, boys. I think, what was yesterday? Was it 30 or 40,000 tickets sold or something around there? And we were talking about the Scone Tea podcast. I don't remember exactly, but I was talking to Megan Making Money last night. She's out there. Said it's getting pretty dirty. So we'll talk to Jake a bit later. But no Jake on today's show. And it's going to be a massive show. I mean, what an odd little Tuesday treat this is. A feline doubleheader. As both on the hardwood and on the field, you'll be treated to Wildcats versus Tigers. Now, one definitely means more than the other, but both are interesting in their own wonderful ways. They're like your children. Although if I had to choose to win one, I would obviously want to beat Kentucky tonight in the PMAC. We're going to talk a lot about that on today's show. We're going to preview this Kentucky basketball team, which is pretty intimidating when you start to look at them on paper. I mean, here you have the old cliche about the immovable object and the unstoppable force, right? The number one defense in the SEC versus the number one offense in the SEC. Who will reign supreme? We will break it all down. We also got Brody Miller coming up at 7:30 to talk a little LSU football. New hires in the air. He, too, I'm assuming is at Houston at that point, or he'll be heading out there today. At 8:30, the legend, Coach Kim Mulkey. Can't wait to talk to her as she prepares for her biggest game yet, but all she does is win big games. I mean, right? Coming off a back-to-back ranked victories to start conference play at Georgia at home versus A&M. Pick Coach Mulkey's brain about that, as well as how to get ready for South Carolina, number one in the team in the country, coming out here on Thursday. And then at 9 a.m. every single Tuesday, our guy Nick Underhill stops by to talk black and gold. And there's a lot to talk about. By the way, Danny, I found that line that I was talking about in the video yesterday. It's from the Saints yo-yo video, where we talk about looking at the schedule. This is when they were 5-3. You know, they had a chance to go to 6-2. They got thrown down to 5 through the lost Falcons of the Dome. And at the time I wrote, you know, it looks like if you just look at the schedule and how this thing's going to play out, it seems all too likely that it will all come down to Week 17 in Atlanta, a playoff trip on the line. And that's exactly what we're looking at. Another rock fight. Can this Saints team get it done? So much to break down. Really excited to talk to Nick about that. So we'll be with you for the next 3 hours, man. If you're listening on radio, shout out, thank you, drive safe, tell your friends, have fun at school, kids. That's right. Y'all don't appreciate this yet, young boys behind the glass, but kids are back in school today, and that's great. The biggest disconnect of my adult life, one of the biggest revelatory things I've ever experienced, is just realizing that those summer breaks, those winter breaks aren't really that fun as a parent. Now, they're a lot. I mean, look, you can make good memories. Okay, they're fun, whatever. Don't come at me. They're a little tiring, right? You always want somebody to take care of kids. Shout out to all the teachers in schools making it happen. Can't wait. They're back today, and we're back as well. So let's go ahead and start how we do every day. And what do you say we dive into some headlines?
OTB headlines are brought to you by Barbecue Guys. Barbecue Guys, for those who are born to grill. Visit bbqguys.com to learn more.
We'll start with the New Orleans Saints, as that game on Sunday has been flexed to 325. That's right, boys. You know who else plays at 325? San Francisco 49ers. So you're going to be treated to that rare opportunity to watch both your game and the game that you need the result, that you need to know the result of in order to know whether or not you make the playoffs. So it's going to be this kind of dueling, flipping back and forth, edge of your seat, trying to figure out what's going on. I'm sure the players in the Saints game will act like they're not paying attention either, but they will have somebody on top of it in one way or another. It's going to be, this is why the NFL is so good at what they do. It's because in a sport filled with chaos and just trying to predict the future, all too often it seems like it just comes down to these situations, and the Saints find themselves in a great one with a chance to go to the playoffs for the fifth year in a row, chance to have a fifth winning season in a row, all on the line. Again, 325 this Sunday. And by the way, the Saints need to beat the Falcons, and in case you missed it, the Rams need to beat the 49ers. If that happens, your New Orleans Saints are in the wild card. Coming up tonight at 8 p.m., LSU versus Kansas State, the Texas Bowl. What does it mean? Well, we'll get into that a bit later. What it does mean, if nothing else, is that interim coach Brad Davis will be the first ever LSU head coach that is African-American. It's awesome, man. It sets a great example for those who come next. And we'll talk about Coach Davis, because what a month it must have been for him and how great it would be to send him out as the interim head coach here. And, you know, he'll still be on the staff. But to make this one day that he's been working for amid the chaos, to make it all worth it. And other LSU football news, Joe Sloan has been named the new LSU quarterbacks coach. Some of y'all may recognize the name, as he's been all throughout Louisiana recruiting for the past decade. He's been working at Louisiana Tech for 9 years now, and he's worked his way up the ladder. Started as a wide receiver coach, became recruiting coordinator, became an assistant head coach, and then went to assistant OC, and then became OC. And he's done well recruiting. La Tech in 2020 was top in the Conference USA and fourth nationally out of all Group of Five schools. So this is somebody that knows the state top to bottom. I think his actual area was Baton Rouge and New Orleans, but he's also lived in North Louisiana forever. So another valuable Louisiana resource, right? You pushed out some Louisiana resources. You have now welcomed new ones in, and Joe Sloan is among that number. And he seems to be a very sharp offensive mind. I mean, those La Tech offenses have been really dominant, crazy volume numbers over the past few years. I mean, even a lot of LSU fans probably think back to 2018 when La Tech had a lot of offensive success against what was a very good LSU defense. So Joe Sloan now in the boat. We'll look at Sloan. I've been saying Sloan. I run Burgundy myself. I wrote Sloan on the on my paper. Sloan. Thanks, Mario. I mean, you know what? Better late than never. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. In LSU basketball news, LSU basketball drops to number 21 in both polls following the loss to Auburn. Auburn actually raises to 9 again. You know, that's the 9th team in the nation. No shame there. But they're going to have a big one tonight against Kentucky, 6 p.m. ESPN, the number 16 team in the country. It's going to be in the PMAC. You know the PMAC's going to be packed. The PMAC is going to be absolutely wild. And in the age of the pandemic, maybe that means a little more than it did in the past. You got to watch out for those Oscar Shibwe. 6'9", 255. He plays center for the Wildcats. They run kind of a smaller lineup where he's the center, and he's kind of surrounded by four more guard-like players. But my man's right now is averaging 14.5 on the, 14.5 points, 15.2 boards per game. He leads. He's first in the nation. The second-place player in the SEC right now averages 9 boards a game. You're talking about a nearly doubling up the second-place guy. So we'll talk more Shibwe coming up. That game, again, 6 p.m. tonight, ESPN. Pack out the PMAC. Let's freaking go. Speaking of packing out the PMAC, why don't you pack it out again this Thursday as Kim Mulkey's squad, we'll talk to Coach about at 8:30, but the LSU women's basketball team, who are now up to number 13 in the AP poll. Again, shocking turnaround. A team that was, I believe, 1 win in conference play last year has started with 2 ranked wins, 1 on the road, 1 at home, and is now number 13 in the entire country, and they will square up with South Carolina. So wear white, get loud, get crazy, get there early, trying to put, I think there was $6K for the game right before the Georgia game. I can't remember who they played. There were over $7K there on Sunday against A&M. We need over $10K. Make it the same way you want to make it hard on Kentucky tonight. Make it hard on South Carolina on Thursday night. And remember, first responders and frontline healthcare workers get tickets for $1, just $1. So go ahead and take advantage of that deal if that applies to you. In New Orleans Pelicans news, the Pelicans fall to the Jazz 115-104. I don't know that I've ever seen the Pelicans beat the Jazz, so it's not that surprising. It's just kind of par for the course in that matchup. And what it means is they've now lost 2 in a row. They're tied for second last in the West. And unfortunately, that losing streak probably going to get a little bit worse before it gets better as they have Suns Warriors coming up. So bit of a rough stretch here for the Pellies. And finally, in Monday Night Football last night, the Pittsburgh Steelers get it done. They beat the Browns 26-14 in what is Big Ben's final game at Heinz Field. Ben Roethlisberger no longer going to be the Steelers. Well, probably no longer going to be in the NFL next year, as he will likely retire at the end of the season. And he got a bit emotional in the post game, but what a win for Big Ben. Reminding the Browns who is and who always will be and who always has been their daddy as Pittsburgh continues to dominate that series. And we'll get into kind of Roethlisberger career stuff later on down the road when that all comes to pass. But what an odd career for Roethlisberger. Dominant throughout, certainly statistically and winning-wise. Got those early Super Bowls, never got another one, but still 2 Super Bowls to your name. The volume stats that he has, not many can say that without a doubt a first ballot Hall of Famer. All right, and that will be your headlines. Coming up next, let's talk about the rare double game day, the Feline Time Showdown, as you got Wildcats Tigers Part 1 and Wildcat Tigers Part 2. We'll talk about basketball and football coming up. Look, if you want to get involved in today's show, youtube.com/1045ESPN. You get into the chat there. It's really fun. We'll have an OTB mailbag section coming up later as well. We'll answer whatever questions you want to ask. So go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe, hit the bell. It helps us out. And we'll be back with more Off the Bench next.
If you were born to grill, you have to go to Barbecue Guys for all your grilling and outdoor living needs. With the largest selection of top grills and outdoor products and best-in-class customer service, Barbecue Guys has it all. Visit bdqguys.com. That's bdqguys.com. Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Go to All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. That's All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. The reasons are many. The selection is excellent. And it doesn't matter what you need. You like a big old truck like a Toyota Tundra? Well, you already know those things last. They're fantastic, very manly. But if you're not so worried about gendered norms and you want to get the ride that's maybe going to be most comfortable for your family, although a big 4-door Tundra is pretty freaking spacious too. But how about you? Maybe check out the Toyota Sienna minivan. The 2022s are even cooler than my 2021, which hurts, but it's true. But the real point is that whatever you and your family's needs are, All-Star Toyota has the vehicle for you, whether that's brand new, whether that's leasing, whether that's buying a Toyota certified used vehicle where you still get things like warranty coverage, or maybe you're just looking to rent. Ask for Miss Lisa Sessions in the rental department, as you're going to get cheaper per day rental pricing than your traditional rental companies with a better selection. Get All-Star Toyota BatonRouge.com today.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
Join me, Jimmy Ott and Mike Delicano, for the Tuesday evening edition of Game Time, presented by Bet Rivers. We're at Doe's Eat Place on Government Street in the heart of Mid-City. 6 to 8 p.m. right here, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Sometimes all I think about is you. Late nights in the middle of June. He always been faking me out. Can't make you happier now. Sometimes all I think about is you. Late nights in the middle of June. He always been faking me out. Can't make you happier now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Welcome back, OTB. T-Bob, Mario, Danny hanging out with you. Jake's in Houston at the Texas Bowl. Look for him on Your View, I guess, is probably what they're doing that show on still. I don't know. Your View didn't carry OTB anymore, so I don't know. I don't care. Here we sit, though. Tuesday, January 4th. We've got a little epic midweek treat. A little doubleheader. The rare double game day. And I'm sure this has been overplayed by now, but I did feel very clever yesterday when during the Scone and Tea podcast, it just clicked with me. Not only is it a wild and rare double football and basketball game day, but it's a two-time feline showdown throwdown. As it'll be Kentucky, it'll be Wildcats versus Tigers, parts 1 and 2. And admittedly, one does mean, I think, way more than the other, and I think that would be on the basketball court. But there's a lot that we're still going to learn about this LSU football team today. But let's start with some LSU basketball talk, as this is a top 25 matchup. Number 21, LSU against number 16, Kentucky. It's a matchup that for LSU, I think these stakes are, I don't want to overstate it here, they're not dire, but they're huge. And they're bigger than they were against Auburn, right? Auburn was a big opportunity, but you were on the road. You were supposed to lose that game. It's not the end of the world that you did lose it. In this case, it still will not be the end of the world, but it's not great, right? Starting conference play 0-2 after a perfect undefeated pre-conference schedule. And on top of that, you're going to be in the PMAC. You will have the home court advantage. Was it Torres yesterday who was talking about home court advantage in the age of the post-pandemic and how we'll see this year a lot of odds makers, a lot of experts are maybe expecting this, expecting fans to have more of an impact than they already do. And when you're talking about college sports, I think that's, well, especially important and means something because already fans have a major impact in college athletics. I mean, on every level, but especially in college. Home field advantage, you see it in football in terms of how Vegas guys move the lines. You see it in basketball as well. Well, in the post-pandemic age, those lines, the fan impact is, well, it's even greater. And so, again, if push comes to shove and you're deciding whether to go to the PMAC and watch this basketball game or maybe stay at home and watch both or watch a football game or something, I would say if you can, get to the PMAC, get crazy, get loud, set LSU up for a victory, and then when they win, you roll home and you grab a drink and you enjoy yourself watching whatever LSU Kansas State will hold for us later tonight. But let's talk about Kentucky, because if you're like me, I the same way in the NBA a lot of times I view everything through a Pelicans lens, right? Like my experience in watching a lot of these other teams comes through watching the Pelicans. You know me and my habits. I'm not someone who, if I'm just being honest, is going to casually watch a Kentucky basketball game that LSU's not playing in. Now, once we get down the road and the stakes get larger and there's bigger SEC on SEC matchups, sure, but not up to this point in the year. So let's do a little scatter report. Sheldon Mickles had a killer article in The Advocate today where he kind of went player by player a little bit and explained what this Kentucky team is bringing to bear. And as we said during headlines, it all starts with Oscar Tshiebwe, the big name to know, 6'9", 255. A WVU transfer, so a guy who, like Torres talked about yesterday, Calipari, having to get into the transfer portal more, and it looks like it's already paid great dividends. This man averages 14.5 points per game and 15.2 rebounds. That leads the nation. That is first in the SEC by 6 rebounds a game. He already has 4 games this year in which he has grabbed at least 20 rebounds, 6'9", 255. Not overly tall, but strong, scrapper, tough, physical. Wade talked about it. This will be the most physical team that they have faced down low. On December 22nd, Tshiebwe had 28 rebounds in 40 minutes. How does that work? Here's a quote from Wade. Quote, he averages 6 offensive rebounds a game, and I only have 2 players that average 6 total rebounds a game. He sets up at the front of the rim, and he's physical. He just eats up every basketball at the front of the rim. And so because of him, there's a knock-on effect here where the Wildcats lead the nation in rebounding margin. They average 17 more boards per game than their opponents do. So if we're using stats to try to tease out important factors in this game and parts of this game you want to have success, I mean, let's just start there. Yes, it's a bit like turnovers or something in basketball, or like turnovers or third down percentage in football, right, where these are core stats to apply to any game if you're trying to figure out where you're going to win. Of course, you want to out-rebound the other team, but it means even more when you're going against a Kentucky team that leads the country in scoring, or leads the SEC in scoring, and a lot of it is because they're constantly they're constantly attacking the offensive glass. So first and foremost, don't allow offensive rebounds, and then secondly, I'm not saying to win the battle, but don't lose it by 17, like the average of Kentucky's opponents to this point. Also for Kentucky, they come in red hot. I think they've won each of the last 3 games with like 27 or something. And again, one more thing on Tshiebwe here. I said, talk about his rebounding where he leads the country. He leads the SEC in field goal percentage by a significant margin as well. I think a lot of this has to do with getting boards right by the basket. But Tshiebwe this year shooting 62.9% from the field. So as you can see, that's a superstar type of talent that you have to try to stop there. Something LSU struggled last week with Smith and Kessler. The problem is it's going to get even tougher. It's not just Tshiebwe. I wish it was that easy. He's the big man, and then you got 4 smaller guys they're going to surround him with that all bring different skill sets to the stable. I mean, let's start with Ty Washington, true freshman. Averages 14.5 per. Already a 3-time SEC Freshman of the Week. Then you get to Severe Wheeler, a name that you LSU basketball fans will remember from last year as he became the first Bulldog in UGA history to put up a triple-double when he did it against the Tigers when he played at UGA. He's 5'9", Severe Wheeler is. He averages 11.3 points per game, another double-digit starter there, and 7.8 assists. Those 7.8 assists, third in the entire country for Division I and first in the SEC. Well, man, that's a lot of good right there, man. I mean, between Ty Washington, three-time SEC Freshman of the Year, Severe Wheeler, leading the country in assists nearly. I mean, she win the rebounds. Like, okay, that's got to be it, right? We haven't even arrived at the leading scorer, Kellen Grady, who averages 18 per game and shoots over 50% from three. And then the fifth and final starter, Keon Brooks, for good measure. Why not? Let's just go ahead and add a fifth starter in double digits as Brooks rounds out things, averaging 10.3 per game. Shoo! That seems pretty intimidating to me, right? The quality of those starters, the varied skill sets, the statistical categories that different players lead, all bringing different things to the table. But then again, while Kentucky's offense is tops in the SEC at 83.9 points per game, we're going to learn how real this LSU defense is. Because, look, this LSU defense, that's why LSU's been who they've been this year. This LSU defense is the only reason why you can miss your first 16 shots, including 11 threes, go down 18-1 on the road at Auburn, and still only be down 6 entering the final 6 minutes of the game. That's because the defense is truly elite. And you look, they're still first in the country in defensive efficiency. They're second in the country in scoring defense, 55 points a game. First in opponent field goal percentage is 34.5% from the field. I think they held like Auburn, like 38. So they're going to be tested greatly. And it's not to say they're not going to hold Kentucky to 55 or whatever, obviously. But the same way LSU hasn't seen an offense like this, Kentucky hasn't seen a defense like this. And what happens in that clash between the unstoppable force and the immovable object? I'm not entirely sure. Now, one thing is clear. LSU cannot afford to start as slow as they did in the past. As they did against Auburn, I should say the past, right? They cannot afford to settle for as many threes as they did. So some of the quality was nice therein, they're just not a good three-point shooting team. They have to find other ways to find success offensively from the beginning. And again, I love this quote from Wade. He says, I told our team we're 294th in the country in three-point percentage, 294 to give you an idea of how bad they've been beyond the arc. So why the hell did we take 13 threes in our first 18 shots? So let's be clear. It is very top of mind for Coach Wade and the boys. They've been working on it directly, and I'll be very intrigued to see what they try to do differently. If they do come out in a rut, how do you look to sort of manufacture some success? Obviously, Kentucky's not going to have the rim protectors that Auburn did, so you have to imagine some sort of penetration, attacking style, getting to the free throw line if the shots aren't falling. All of these things will need to happen early. They'll need to happen often. In the same way against Auburn that you needed an offensive player to step up and maybe play above himself, if you like, the defense is going to set you up. But if you are going to outscore Kentucky and win this game, somebody is just going to have to be spectacular offensively. Will it be Tari Eason? Will it be Darius Days? Games like Xavier Pinson? Only time will tell. All I know, it's a massive one featuring two great teams with great head coaches and a great offense. Again, it's great defense. It's in the PMAC. It's going to be friggin' spectacular. National TV, ESPN 1. Let's go, boys. Boot up in the PMAC tonight. If you're going, again, be loud, be crazy. I know the balcony Bengals will be there. The student section's been fire all year. I'm sure they'll have the giant, stupid General Wade cardboard cutout, which is my favorite part of the entire General Wade persona. So here's to hoping that LSU basketball can start things off right and we'll be in a good mood, be freaking pumped up, rolling in to the Texas Bowl in the football game a bit later on. Right now, let's roll into break. And when we get back, we're going to talk to the Athletics' Brody Miller, my erstwhile podcast host, before life forced us apart. He's replaced me with Chris Branch, and I've replaced him, I guess, with Matt Moscona. And my boys, Emil McClellan and Alex Anderson. So you should all listen to the LSU football podcast. Great job as well. When we get back, Brody Miller, talking Texas Bowl. Keep it locked. Off the bench.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to therelaxationcompany.org, therelaxationcompany.org, man. Look, if you need a massage, you're going to be feeling good. You got a little stiffness in your neck, a little post-holiday stress. Kids are now out the house today. Later, kids. Treat yourself, okay? You made it. You made it through Christmas. Hopefully the bills are paid or being paid off here. The kids are back in school. It's time for you to treat yourself with the plethora of services that the Relaxation Company offers. You can find them on Instagram at TRC Massage and keep up with the daily deals there. But it's not just massage. So they have plenty of different kinds, whether it be more like athletic and recovery. You want something a little more chill, like a Swedish foot massage, whatever, hot stone aromatherapy, all that cool stuff. But check out the cryo machine as well. You want to get inches frozen off of your waist? You want to get a facelift without having any surgery? Well, the Relaxation Company can do this for you. They're at Pelican Point in Gonzales. It's a great location. Go to therelaxationcompany.org.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Williamson Eye Center.
Our Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All Star Toyota today.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I had to pack up all my things. I had to leave my home. And I never knew where I was going next. It felt like I never even had a say. But then you came along.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you.
Yo, Jake here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic, reminding you they now have 8 convenient locations across the Baton Rouge area, open from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m. And if you're looking for that COVID test for holiday travel, or you have a holiday event coming up, they're the place for you, as well as a flu shot. It's starting to creep up here during flu season, so if you need that shot, make sure you get that. They now have some available through December. You can find more information on their website, patientplusuc.com. That's Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic. Get in and get better.
Join us for a Tuesday edition of Hunt and Hill Double Game Day. Tigers and Wildcats on the hardwood and in the Texas Bowl. We are getting you ready for all of it. Noon to 2 weekdays. It's Hunt and Hill on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Pretty Liddy in the studio today. What do you say there, Danny? Not to brag, just learning all the cool young slang words from Lil DZ here. Right now, let's go to one of our most lit guests, and that is our guy, Brody Miller. Brody A. Miller on Twitter. He writes for The Athletic. Was once my podcast boyfriend for years. We did the Hold That podcast, and we chronicled the rise to a national championship before forces out of our control forced their way apart, and he replaced me with Chris Branch. Brody, I feel like it's been a while since you've been on the show, man. Thank you so much for waking up with us.
No, thanks for having me, man. I miss you.
Wow, it's a little more emotional than I thought, hearing your voice in this setting. It almost feels like we're
great. You look great, man.
Back on. Well, I wish I could say the same about you. So I apologize that I can't. Brody, are you in Houston right now?
I'm actually not in Houston, unfortunately. We for a bunch of reasons we decided not to send me. It's kind of back in 2020 zone right now.
I see. Okay, that makes sense. Well, let's start with the bowl game. We'll get into coaching hires and whatnot. Help me out here. Do you have any inkling of whether or not Garrett Nussmeier got the waiver? They said they got the answer from the NCAA, right? We just don't know what the answer is.
I believe they did not get it. You know, everyone close to the program and whatnot has talked to me and said that he is not going to be playing today, and obviously there's a chance that changes, right? There's obviously always a chance because he's available as far as I know. So you never know if he might go out there and prove me completely wrong and play. But all indications from LSU were that he is not going to be playing tonight. It's been a lot more John Trey Kirkland and whatnot in practices, and as far as I know, Garrett Nussmeier hasn't really been doing anything at practice for a little while now. So it would be a pretty big surprise if he went out there and played. Oh, wow. That's kind of shocking to me. I mean, I thought LSU's case was pretty strong. Being like, hey, we don't have any players. Just come on, hook it up. Okay, so John Trey Kirkland, if he's going to be taking the snaps at quarterback, I mean, what does that look like, Brody? I know, right? That's the hardest thing to figure out because I think in our heads automatically we kind of default to, okay, so is it going to be this kind of like option-y wildcat, run the ball scheme, like, some of those Ronnie Brown Dolphins teams. And I think you have to almost, default to that a little bit. But it's not like John Trey can't throw a ball. I mean, he threw for 7,500 yards over his career at Lutcher. He's capable of it, but doing it in high school and then not throwing it for years and doing it in a Power 5 bowl game are different things. So I think that's the thing I'm most fascinated to find out is it Kirkland full throttle and they're just treating this like a normal offense? Is it kind of a little bit more gimmicky and also maybe the walk-ons get some chances to do some stuff too in more of a traditional way? I haven't gotten a great answer on that. I think they're trying to keep a lot of things kind of, close to the vest, but I would imagine you have to get creative and get some running stuff going, get some misdirection, trickeration going, because you have 39 scholarship players or in the 40ish range. You kind of have to get creative here. Well, and Brody, what's kind of interesting too, like if there was ever a time, I mean, do you agree with this? It feels like LSU is playing with house money. Like there's no Absolutely. Like if they lose, I mean, what's the big deal? Oh, absolutely. If you lose, it's an interim coach. The entire old staff is gone. So even there, this loss isn't affecting anybody's, even 6 and 7 is a tough look for LSU, but that's not affecting Brian Kelly at all, right? There's no real downside to losing. And if you win, it's, oh shoot, you just won with an amount of available players that would have gotten the game canceled in 2020, for reference. 55, I think, was the number in 2020, and they're in the high 30s, low 40s. There is no reason really for this game to even be played other than probably, money and experience and all those things. So yeah, I absolutely agree. They're playing with house money here, and I hope, and just as a spectator, they do just lean into having fun with it, kind of to your point. Just letting loose, letting some of these freshmen do some stuff. I mean, shoot, your only running backs available are Corey Kiner and Josh Williams. Let them see what they can do. Your only linebackers are Greg Penn and Mike Jones, two guys with a lot of promise but haven't really done and proven it much yet. Let them go, fly around and have fun, all that stuff. I think that's the only way to do this, and anything else is almost like, what are we doing here? Okay, so you touched on it there. Maybe you can expound on it a little bit, because the next thing I wanted to ask you about was, with the roster deficiencies and some of the absences, what
players and positions do you think are most kind of set up to be put in that exact situation, right? To show out and play a lot more than they have all year long.
Yeah, well, I think the obvious one is defensive back, where it's the cornerback spot. I mean, we talked all year about how depleted it was, and they still played well. This is just now something else. This is no longer that. This is now they are on their fifth string. You know, it is the only available corners on the depth chart. And granted, depth charts can usually be hokey, but when they're leaving guys out, you take it seriously. You know what I mean? And the only available corners right now are Pig Cage and Darren Evans from Nicholls State, Demarius McGee, a freshman who, you know, quite frankly, I haven't heard his name mentioned this year. You know, and then Sage Ryan does appear to be available, but the fact that he's listed as a backup, I wonder if that means, you know, maybe he doesn't play unless he has to. Again, that's me speculating, but that corner area is just completely depleted beyond belief, which is a cool moment. You know, 2 Nicholls transfers are going to get chances to start in a bowl game and things like that. It is a cool opportunity. I think the more fun one to watch, though, because I think defensive back might just be a tough day. Linebacker could be really fun, though, for that reason I mentioned before. You know, Devon Clark, when we were interviewing him about a month ago, kind of like stopped us for a moment. We was talking about like the future, and we asked him because, you know, Devin White took him under his, you know, wing and all that stuff, and we're like, who'd you do that with? And he's like, listen to me, guys, Greg Penn is going to be an All-American here. And he was just like so dead serious. He's just like, Greg Penn is that dude. And, you know, I think he's a really talented freshman who they're high on. Obviously, I doubt he's like ready yet to be a star, but you know, him getting this chance could be kind of a cool thing to watch in what could be, you know, a weird day.
Yeah, that's I mean, and I mean, it's kind of crazy, man. How long has the LSU linebacker heater been going on now? I mean,
I mean, shoot, it's got to go back to like at least mid 2000s, but you would know better about the early 2010s and whatnot.
Yeah, I guess like the early 2010s is maybe where there was a little bit of a gap, but then I mean, you get like Minter, Deion Jones, Duke Riley, Devin White, Jacob Phillips, Patrick Queen. I know I'm missing some guys in there as well. So Greg Penn, okay, what an opportunity for him to try to see if he can be the next one to step up on that stage. Brody, how do you think they make up for the absence of Neil Farrell?
I know, right? Because as much as it's kind of possible to talk ourselves into, hey, man, they lost everybody midseason, and they still were top 5 in the second half of the year in every defensive category in the SEC. I mean, what Deontay Jones did that second half, you know, deserves a medal or a plaque or something. And I think it's easy to focus on that and be like, well, he'll do it again. But they were able to do that because, as you know, I mean, they went to a true 4-3. They loaded up the box, and Neil Farrell and Damone Clark played some of the most, you know, just dominant football really defensively in a while, even though it was a short time span at LSU. Having neither of those guys kind of shakes up your ability to do that as well as you did with the secondary you have. Now, granted, D-line should be okay, right? Like D-line, they still probably have an overall talent advantage. You still have, it seems Mason Smith is expected to return, or at least that had been the indication through bowl practice. I'm not going to say that confidently. You know, you still have Jaquelin Roy, Guillory, Langston. You know, at the end, you still have Bijo Jalari and Sony Fanua. You know, you still got dudes there. So I think at the D-line, they'll at least be okay. Are they losing their biggest difference maker? Absolutely. Glenn Logan's also not available. So, I mean, that stings. But, yeah, I believe he's academically ineligible. So I think that's a tough situation, but at the same time, they should be okay up front. It's that back 7 where it's like if anyone goes down, you're like, well, who are you playing?
Brody, what about Kansas State? So I was reading your athletic write-up, and you mentioned the fact that Skylar Thompson's going to be available for this game. It's Kansas State's quarterback, and that when he was healthy this year, they were 7-3. So I mean, it was going really well. What does Thompson do to kind of make a difference with this Kansas State team?
Yeah, you know, and I don't want to overinflate Thompson, right? You know, he had a good year, and he's been a good quarterback for a little while there. And I think they are, you know, you look at most of the passing numbers, they're the best top half of the country. But, you know, they are, what Kansas State really does is they're a fantastic running team. You know, Deuce Vaughn and all, you know, they're top 20 in almost every category, you know, advanced stats and all that. But I think when Thompson was gone, man, they were predictable and good. Some of those good Big 12 defenses just really neutralized them. But now you get Thompson back, and all of a sudden you have a guy who can make those plays, who can move around the pocket and all that. And, you know, I think that really does open things up for them to attack LSU's secondary. And I'm sure LSU is going to, kind of like they did against Bama and Arkansas and so many others, focus on stopping that run, you know, make them play left-handed, all that stuff. But it's got to be a yin and a yang, right? Because it's like You want to stop that good run game and use your best players. But if you do that, then you're leaving your really depleted secondary kind of alone on an island. So it's a really tough situation. I don't know what you do. But to answer your question, I just think Thompson means you have to respect both sides of the game. You know, I'm not saying he's a superstar, but he's a good Big 12 quarterback.
Brody Miller of The Athletic. Brody, I don't really give a damn about predictions, but do you want to give? I feel like I have to ask that. Do you want to give one?
Yeah. I mean, I think with the news of the last week of how much even more depleted they are, it's just hard to see how OSU exactly figures this out. So I'll take Kansas by about a touch. Kansas State, by about a touchdown. I just think they're a really good team who doesn't get enough respect.
Brody, have you ever played Retro Bowl on your phone?
I think I will. Tell me all about it.
Yeah, just we'll talk. We'll talk after. Download Retro Bowl, and you'll thank me later.
Thanks, buddy.
Take it easy, Brody. One of the best. Writes for The Athletic, does incredible work. You should sign up for The Athletic. Brody A. Miller on Twitter, and you should check out the Hold That podcast with him and Chris Branch. It is really good. Chris is cool dude too. I'm not just a jilted lover trying to put on a public face of kindness. I mean that. When we get back, I do actually mean it. I'm doing the waffling thing too much. When we get back, let's close out hour number 1 here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Call Mr. Electric today for electrical repairs, upgrades, and installations.
During these challenging times, we know your healthcare needs don't stop. Cancer, accidents, injuries, and heart disease are relentless. So we are relentlessly innovating to keep you safe, both virtually and in person, connecting you with providers remotely, advancing clinical spaces, providing rapid and accurate testing, social distancing, and certified cleaning protocols. We are Auctioner, and we will not slow down. Auctioner Health, innovating healthcare.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Join us for a Tuesday edition of Early Line as we give our final thoughts on LSU, Kansas State, and the Texas Bowl. Go out to Las Vegas to talk to Rafael Esparza and preview LSU, Kentucky, and hoops. Early Line, 2 p.m., 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Babies into running around, hanging with the crowd, putting your business in the street.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Damn. Keeping it a little funky here at the end of hour one on Off the Bench, 104.5 ESPN. Hope you're having a wonderful morning this morning as you're driving through the city. Stay safe out there, folks. Stay warm. Cuddle up with a loved one. For warmth, because it's freezing. Yeah, it's crazy. My windshield's literally iced over today. Driving to work. Had to hit that defrost. Danny, you drove in from New Orleans, dude. Any ice on the bridge? You were straight? It was all good?
All good, yeah.
Okay. There you go. A little traffic report, end of hour one. Classic radio stuff. Right there. Also classic radio stuff is trying to expose old stories and anecdotes that you read that you find very interesting. And so I was reading about Dale Brown today. Of course, you know, everybody writing a bunch of great Dale Brown tributes. Tonight, the game and the PMAC going to be a Dale Brown tribute as that court will finally be named Dale Brown Court. But again, you know, I love Sky Rabelais and the Advocate. I'd say go read him. But he had a great story about how Dale kind of got started in Louisiana and how when he took over, that was a job where nobody gave a damn about basketball, right? LSU was a pure football school through and through. And even with guys like Bob Pettit and Pete Maravich, people didn't really care about the LSU basketball program. Well, how about this? In order to try to change that, you want to talk about some grassroots advertising? I overused the term boots on the ground, but this is truly boots on the ground here. So Dale Brown and his assistants bought 1,000 purple and gold basketball nets for him and his staff. And then they would drive across, they're driving all across the state, obviously recruiting, trying to get players. And any time that they would come across a basketball goal in someone's driveway, maybe it was just without a net, maybe it's just any time they saw one, but anytime they would come across a basketball goal in the driveway, they would stop, get out, and go ahead and set up that net or give it to that person. So, I mean, you want to talk about seeding LSU basketball among the community, amongst the people, getting out there amongst the people. That's how you did it. And I'm not saying that's why he had so much success, but it did eventually bear fruit, right? Because 7 years later, now it took a while, but 7 years later, he had that thing up and running. When they won the SEC in 78, 79, over the next 15 years, they made 13 NCAA tournaments. And they made the postseason all 15 years, dropping to the NIT in 2 of those, but 13 out of 15 NCAA tournaments. When you look at LSU basketball history, and 2 Final Four trips mixed in there for good measure. But when you look at LSU basketball history, that's just a consistency that had never been seen to that point and has not been seen since. Even the John Brady years, which ostensibly are some of the best, right? It had a Final Four of their own in there back in 06. But even the John Brady years, Brady made 5 NCAA tournaments in a row. And even Will Wade, who maybe he approaches that 15 number, right? That's something that obviously only time will tell. But even Will Wade has only made 4 in a row to this point. I mean, honestly, it's Not technically 4 in a row, but I have no problem just saying 4 in a row because the only reason it's not 4 in a row is because of the pandemic. They would have made it, right? So 4 in a row, soon to be 5 for Will Wade. So I think it's very fitting that on a night where Coach Wade is trying to further establish his own legacy and what LSU basketball is today and is trying to bring them to unprecedented heights, or maybe back to where they were, I guess. It's fitting then that Dale Brown, the man who laid the groundwork many, many moons ago, would be at the focal point of being honored tonight. So Dale Brown Court going down a little, added juice to the game, get the PMAX, support Coach Brown and support the Tigers as they look to be the walk.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Osher.org. That's Osher.org for all of your healthcare needs, man, any of your orthopedic needs. You're going to get bigger, stronger, faster. Osher Performance Training is a hell of a deal. And it's kind of funny, man. You may find yourself working out. I mean, you're going to be working out in top-notch facilities with all the latest equipment needed. But you also might find yourself working out next to a professional or a major college athlete or somebody who's making the transition from major college athlete to professional. And so why would you not want to train in these same facilities and techniques that the pros do? Okay, there's a reason why the LHSAA, the Saints, Pelicans, there's a reason why all of these different organizations trust Osher. Okay? And it's because they're the best. They do things the right way. They combine the best facilities with the best personnel, and it means that you, the consumer, gets the best results. And when it comes to things like orthopedic needs and surgeries and whatnot, you're going to need those best results. It's not always surgery either. They can provide you a pathway to getting better. Go to Osher.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Over the years, I've tried a lot of great whiskeys, but one that keeps
vehicle. Come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All Star Toyota today.
To the heroes who are working tirelessly to care for our communities, we thank you. We will never forget the countless hours you dedicated on the front lines, choosing to risk your own health to fight for our friends, neighbors, and family members.
I mean, you guys are out on the front lines fighting it.
We are grateful for your heroic acts and unwavering spirit. Together, we are overcoming this adversity and make our state healthier and more vibrant again. Ochsner Health.
Service Master Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli? I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I had to pack up all my things. I had to leave my home. And I never knew where I was going next. It felt like I never even had a say. But then you came along.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you.
To Baton Rouge.
Good morning, everybody. It's 8 a.m. on Tuesday, January 4th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect to see clear skies with a high of 59. In case you missed hour one of the show, including our conversation with the Athletics' Brody Miller, you can catch that at the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. Still to come on OTB, LSU women's basketball coach Kim Mulkey calls in at 8:30, and Nick Underhill of New Orleans Football joins us at 9 a.m. to talk Saints. We also have a new edition of OTB Mailbag at 8:15, so get your questions into the Bayou Ford YouTube chat using the hashtag OTB Mailbag. You can follow today's show on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN, or watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Hello, and welcome back to hour number 2 of OTB. I hope you're having a wonderful morning wherever you are. If you are in the car, drive safe. Again, it's cold out there in Maine. But let's all celebrate parents because our kids are going back to school today, meaning other adults have to take care of our kids during the day as opposed to us, which is always nice. Although it's been kind of fun. We've had some fun activities. You know what we're going to do pretty soon here, boys? I'm really pumped about it. Kids First Hibachi. Right? I mean, who doesn't love a good hibachi? I didn't say Hitachi, okay, Danny? Hibachi. It's just the best, dude. From the onion volcano into onion choo-choo train, flipping eggs into chef's hats, flipping shrimps into my mouth. I love everything about hibachi. I always have since I was a little kid. I imagine my daughters are going to be astounded with it. So very excited for them. Very excited for this next hour of Off the Bench. As not only we'll get into a little OTB mailbag next, go to youtube.com/1045ESPN, like, subscribe, hit the bell, and all that good stuff. I know you get sick of hearing it, but it helps us out, right? But go ahead and give your questions in. Hashtag OTB mailbag. We will answer them all next. And I couldn't be more pumped up to talk to Coach Mulkey. And the Coach Mulkey segment is great because it's starting to take on a life of its own where it's not like, okay, yes, it is about LSU's women's basketball, and they have been great. And because of that, you should start giving them some of your mind share. Like, well, I'm not telling you what to do, right? But I think they're earning mind share. They're earning heart share. At least to me, they are, right? I'm like super pumped up to sit down and watch that game this Thursday. But what's great about the Coach Mulkey interview, and I think why you have guys like Ryan Terrio out there tweeting that, they listen every Tuesday to it and things, is that a lot of the lessons and the ideas that she talks about are things that transcend sports, not just women's basketball. They transcend any sports. Like they're lessons and techniques that not only carry over into other sports, but also carry over into everyday life. It seems like every single time we talk to Coach, we get some sort of valuable insight that we could all use to almost make ourselves better people at the end of the day. And so I can't wait to talk to her at 8:30, especially coming off of 2 just absolutely massive wins. She called the Georgia win on the road to Georgia start conference play. She called that like one of the most memorable wins of her career. And this is someone who's obviously won huge games, national championships as a player and coach, won huge games en route to winning those natties, right? And yet still, this Georgia game ranks among the top. So we'll talk to Coach Mulkey at 8:30, and that's going to be awesome. We touched a lot on the LSU basketball game tonight. One thing we did not touch on yet is the football game. Now, we talked to Brody about, and the big news, in case you missed it, it does appear like Jontre Kirkland's going to be your quarterback. Even though he's not listed on the depth chart, it does not appear that Garrett Nussmeier got that waiver. I guess none of these things are 100%. So you leave maybe and you could always still burn a red shirt potentially if you really wanted to. So I would maybe say leave a little wiggle room, but according to Brody and Prague Sports, it seems like maybe Kirkland has been the one taking all the reps, which is pretty fascinating, dude. And potentially very fun, potentially very unfun, right? Because in your head, you build it up, and you're like, oh, it's going to be crazy. You're going to run like Wildcat. They're not going to know what to expect, and it's going to be like super successful. It's going to be awesome. Now, the flip side of that is the probably more likely side that it's not awesome. It's kind of a bit of a train wreck because of all these new faces and moving pieces and whatnot. But we'll see. We'll see. If nothing else, it's exciting because it's unique and it's and it's new. But John Trey Kirkland looked like he's going to be quarterback. And how about this? This entire bowl game kind of feels like the big boys have taken over. Because at a time when every other position group is missing like all of their starters and we're going to see new faces all over the field, there is one group that remains constant, and that's the O-line. The much maligned O-line. Although, to be fair, by season's end, a lot of that ill will, I think, was a bit unearned, or at least it had been solved, right? The line that you saw in the first few weeks of the season was absolutely not the line that you saw in the second half of the season. And I get it. Not a lot of people are going to feel that because first impressions are a hell of a thing. Also, a lot of people like something that stands out in a lot of fans' mind, right? When criticizing Max and the O-line, it's like the Texas A&M plays. You had like the back-to-back sacks at one point in that game. And it's like, what the hell, man? What's going on? But then when you actually look, you see that it was more about receivers not understanding how to break off their routes against cover zero, and that there's nothing the O-line and the quarterback could have done. And I guess all I'm saying is that I do think there's a bit of a disconnect with the form that this offensive line enters this game at and what the general LSU public thinks about them. They have gotten better every week of the season, and they're healthy again. And kind of through that process, because they weren't always healthy, they've also gained some depth. So you've now got an O-line that's actually pretty deep, playing pretty well. And if you're going to win today's game, I do believe that they are going to be the key. The other big key in winning today's game is going to be, well, the guy who helped to shape that offensive line, Brad Davis. And think about what a crazy situation it has been for the Baton Rouge native over the past couple of months. The head coach gets fired. He has to take over an interim head coach. He has to deal with the anxiety of his own job status hanging in the air as he has, 50, 60 young men looking at him for leadership. He has to deal with 6 assistants leaving. He has to deal with analysts becoming position coaches, players transferring, players opting out, players having academic issues and not being able to play. And the entire time, again, amidst all this chaos, amidst all this unknown, everybody's looking to him for the answers. It's a tough spot, man. I think we can all empathize with that. That'd be really hard to navigate. About as hard to navigate, or definitely harder, but this is a man who had to navigate an offensive line that didn't know its ass from its toes at the beginning of this season. And eventually he got it. It's found a way. I mean, think about it. An offensive line that at the beginning of the year was producing games where you had negative yards before contact ended with a 1,000-yard rusher. That's massive improvement. And that's thanks to the man you see on the screen right there. That thanks to Brad Davis, right? There's a reason why Brian Kelly in this evaluation process kept him on. There's a reason why Scott Woodward was so impressed with him in the first place to offer him a 3-year contract. It's because man knows what he's doing. And here he sits as the first black head coach of LSU football, even for an Ole game. It would be awesome for all of his hard work to be rewarded with a win. The hard work during the season and the hard work over the last couple of months, where he has just had to have the incredibly unenviable task of trying to cobble together some semblance of shape and team amidst a swirling whirlpool of chaos. So shout out to Brad Davis, man. I really hope that this works out for him today. Defensively, I think, again, it's just, I think the defensive line is going to have to play out of their mind. Right, and that's a tough ask for saying your front seven needs to play very well when you're down your front seven's 2 best players. One of whom is a national award winner, multi-time All-American, maybe should have been a national award winner, talking about Damone Clark. And the other who the highest graded interior defensive lineman in the entire country, in Neil Farrell. So I don't know. I'm kind of like Brody, man. It just feels like there's too much working against this LSU football team in order to make it. But you never know, man. It's bowl season. Crazier things have happened. Maybe the Wildcat offense really does take Kansas State by surprise and they're just not ready to handle it. Maybe the coaching staff are kind of freed of pressure and constraints and things without, or maybe they're freed of pressure and constraints and they don't give a damn and then nobody really cares and they lose, right? That could happen too. Let's be honest, but either way, doesn't discount the great work that Brad Davis has done this year over the last couple of months, and I would love for that work to be rewarded with a win. And if you win, you finish 7-6, which is above 500, which I don't hate that. If you win, it probably means that some of the new faces that you saw played well. Be it a Corey Kiner, Greg Penn, Pig Cage, maybe Sage Ryan, even though Brody didn't sound too positive, he might get in the game. I'm looking for big moments from the receivers, even though it's like I don't know exactly how you manufacture them, but find a way to give Kirkland easy decisions and get the ball into Thomas and Malik Neighbors and Jack Besh's hands. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see tonight at 8 p.m. in Houston in the Texas Bowl. Let's be clear. It's going to be a very pro-LSU crowd. I think it's going to be a pretty big crowd. And here's hoping that the boys can put on a show for the crowd and for Coach Brad Davis. We'll talk to Jacob Hester coming up at 9:30 at the end of the show, revisit the Texas Bowl a bit. But right now, let's take a little break. And then let's do a little, how about we do a little OTB mailbag? Just get in the youtube.com/1045 ESPN chat and ask any questions you want. And I mean, they could be about anything. Video games, movies, sports, basketball, football, baseball, Danny, Mario, whatever you want to ask. Go ahead and ask and we'll answer next here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Go to GEAUXroof.com, GEAUX roof.com. 927-8300 is the number. It's really easy to remember, 927-8300. I say it's easy to remember. I've said it 10,000 times in my life. 927-8300. Let's make it 1001. But when you call that number, it's really easy to set up a time and get a free professional estimate, okay? That's big right there. Free professional estimate. Don't cost you nothing. I used a double negative, but you get what I'm saying. It's free. And then you become fully informed, and you're able to make a decision about what you want to do next. Maybe there's something wrong. That's great. Great peace of mind. Maybe it's something slight. You can wait and put it off a little bit till you're more financially comfortable. There you go. Something that has to happen. They want to work with you to make sure that you can get it done. Whether insurance covers it or not, they have monthly payment. The bottom line is that they work with you. Everybody's life's about insured. And they offer a 2-year workmanship guarantee on top of that manufacturer warranty. GoRoof.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Expect a whole lot.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Yo, Jake here from Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic, reminding you they now have 8 convenient locations across the Baton Rouge area, open from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m. And if you're looking for that COVID test for holiday travel, or you have a holiday event coming up, they're the place for you, as well as a flu shot. It's starting to creep up here during flu season, so if you need that shot, make sure you get that. They now have some available through December. You can find more information on their website, patientplusuc.com. That's Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic. Get in and get better.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana. A jam-packed day. We're previewing LSU, Kentucky, and hoops, and the Texas Bowl with LSU and Kansas State. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. What is
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
We were just talking about Night of the Roxbury. I was like, man, we got to do a Night of the Roxbury costume. And there's but it's only 2 people. I was like, yeah, but like surely there's like other characters, right? And then I got to thinking, and even though my brain tells me I love Night at the Roxbury, I can't tell you a single damn thing that happens in the Night at the Roxbury movie. Like, not a thing. I only remember the scene where they're sandwiching the girl dancing, or when they're like, yes, no, you, me. Like, that's it. But it's still funny. And my brain's still like, yeah, that movie's hilarious. It's a great movie. Chris Kattan, Will Ferrell. Hell yeah. Like, the intro basically captures the entire movie. And the intro's funny, so it works. Your thumbnail's also very funny today, Danny. I just turned on the chat for the first time today. I apologize that it took me so long. Everybody's been hanging out in the chat. But it's really dumb. It's the firearm safety guy from TikTok, which is it's fantastic. All right, let's go ahead and dive in to a little OTB mailbag.
Special delivery! I have this special delivery for off the bench. And look, it is marked most urgent.
We'll be writing to you.
The internet. What the is the internet?
All right. One of my favorite parts of every week, especially, well, mainly, I mean, look, it's really chill. It's fun for me. Y'all ask crazy things. And, it's just like, hey, y'all produce a show for me. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Caitlin Sims wants to know, if aliens land on Earth today, what is most likely to happen? I would say, I just think total chaos, right? I think it immediately becomes politicized. I think it's immediately the internet yelling at one another about what should be done, what's right, what's wrong. Is religion real? Do we need to be worried about alien diseases and whatnot? A la smallpox on a galactic scale. I think the world just kind of completely falls apart in a lot of ways. I think it goes absolutely insane.
Do you think the aliens try to communicate with us, or we try to communicate with them, or is it attack first?
I mean, I don't know, man. The most likely alien life, I feel like, is still not intelligent, right? It's like finding some microorganisms or something or another like that. I have no clue, dude. That would be up to the aliens, I would say. Because this might be easier to answer. What is your favorite alien arriving thing? Is it an immediate attack? Is it a peaceful thing where they're communicating? Or is it where, like, the ship just shows up and is just, like, floating in place and nobody knows what to do?
I think any encounter would have to, like, be forced to be peaceful. Like, you have to keep good vibes, because if you try to communicate with them, that might be really risky, because they might interpret that as an attack, even though you're trying to be peaceful.
Saying, like, good vibes, y'all. Good
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Hey, aliens, dude, relax. Okay, we're cool here, man.
Yes, don't do anything drastic.
I mean, I agree. You can't really fight them, right? Because anybody that has the technology for interstellar travel is likely on a technological and evolutionary scale that we can't really touch. Like, we would resemble animals to them most likely. So think about when you showed up. If, like, you showed up and this cool mansion was being lived in by a bunch of cows, it'd probably kill him and eat him.
Yeah.
So we might be in trouble.
That's like a perfect analogy.
You're like, dude, this house is great. They're just like stupid little, like, I don't know, cows. What? Okay, sure. Even though, I don't know, maybe I just hope to be like one of the cows that they keep for milking. Joseph Claymont, hashtag OTB mailbag. In honor of Tolkien's birthday yesterday, which Lord of the Rings character would you most want to live as in that universe? It's very easy for me. As much as the adventuring part of Lord of the Rings is very cool, I don't really have the stomach for fighting orcs and monsters and whatnot. So I would be the old Gaffa, who Samwise works for, who tends Bilbo's gardens in the Shire. I just want to live in the Shire, right? I just want to smoke Shire tobacco, pipe weed, and, like, have drinks at the Green Dragon, sleep in my bed at home, take care of the garden, like a simple, beautiful lifestyle in those rolling green hills. Sounds like... Or I'll take Sam's life post Lord of the Rings adventure. Boys?
Legolas. I'll take Legolas' life.
Wow. Danny, eternal life?
Yeah.
Royalty?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot, dude. Okay. Okay, what about you?
Not sure. Frodo, I guess.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's there's a lot.
Stressful.
There's a lot to unpack there. Yeah, seems pretty stressful. Deals with incredibly intense PTSD for sure. Eventually leaves for the shores of Valinor, sailing west into the Grey Havens. Nice spread of answers there, boys. Nookie, hashtag OTB mailbag. Can T-Bob keep syndrome hair going until we win the Natty? No, I already did that. Edward O, LSU 6-0. This is not a question, but I thought this comment was interesting. 6-0 in their last 6 against Big 12 matchups. 6-0 against the spread. Excuse me. I know we're shorthanded, but I think LSU wins on a 50-yard Cade York field goal at the buzzer. Cade York could have a massive impact this game for sure, because I think it will be close. What is the spread on this game, Mario?
It's 7, all the way up to 7.
For Kansas State?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Figured. Nookie, hashtag OTB mailbag. What New Year's resolution have you already broken, boys?
I think I've stayed pretty true to mine. I don't have many, but I think I've stayed pretty true to mine.
Danny, you broken any?
Nah, not really.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't make any. So I couldn't break any. Will Meadows, hashtag OTB mailbag is going to be a new 4 Mandalore podcast covering Book of Boba Fett. There is already 1 episode out of the new season. Go look for it on Spotify and iTunes. I'll tweet it out. We do one after every episode, so another one on Wednesday. And just know, I know a lot of people, I don't know. Look, here's the deal. A lot of people, the feelings on the first episode of Book of Boba Fett are mixed. I'm not an objective observer, right? I love all the source material so much that I nerd out and I love it all. And while I do have gripes and critiques, on the most part, it's pretty positive and fun. So if you're looking for like a little more positive and fun and not as angry corner of the Star Wars fandom, I would say check out the 4 Mandalore podcast. William Ivey has to go to mailbag, who will be the LSU quarterback in the bowl game. According to Brody Miller, and Brody's a great reporter, journalist, and assume that he's right here. It seems like all signs are pointing towards John Cherry Kirkland mainly being the quarterback. Donovan Rillian with a super chat, hashtag go to be mailbag. Do you think if Saban never leaves LSU, he wins just as many, if not more, natties than he did at Alabama? I mean, it's tough to say because you do combine the legacy of Alabama with a coach like Saban, but then again, you already had the one, you were rolling. The only reason why I hesitate to just flat out say yes is because the buy-in from Alabama fans and like policymakers and everything was immediate, whereas he was, even after national championship here in Baton Rouge, he was still facing friction, right? Like a lot of people were like good riddance when he left, only to realize that it was a bit, maybe not how that should have been handled. Hashtag OTB mailbag, Survive623. Do you think aliens have emotion and would know what come in peace even mean, or attack first for that matter? Again, I mean, we could be talking about beings that are multidimensional. We could talk about beings that aren't just a completely different intellectual standing. But then again, I mean, I guess all things are possible. So maybe it's just like Mars attacks, and they're just cute little big-headed things that end up going sideways with, and then we got to battle them.
If they have like the technology to get here, like you said,
yeah,
like I mean, surely they gotta have emotion. Like they gotta be super intelligent. Like they're not.
It could be like an AI though, right? I mean, it could be some sort of unthinking, unfeeling AI. It could be some sort of intergalactic being that somehow like has evolved to travel interstellar space, right? But does it like naturally and doesn't really do it through a technological, rather a biological sense. Like there's so many different crazy things that it could do. What if somebody just like pops into a black hole and then pops out, but I could still be far away. Hashtag OTB mailbag. LSU basketball or Tiger football tonight? Tiger basketball tonight. If I had to choose one to win, I would lose. Yeah, I guess that's true. If you had to choose one to win, would you lose the bowl game and win the basketball game?
Losing season on the line, though, right? First time since late 90s.
No, I know, but it's the Brian Kelly era, so I know. I kind of care about that, but not as much as beating Kentucky in basketball. I would say Kentucky. Caitlin Sims, hashtag mailbag. What power would you want from any movie? If you could have a superpower, what would it be?
I mean, when I saw this, I was thinking about it. The Jumper movie.
Yes, dude. Hell yes. Hayden Christensen. He did like Star Wars Jumper and then never did anything again. I know he had a Bob Dylan movie mixed somewhere in there. He'll be back in Obi-Wan, though. Just wait. Okay, Jumper. Great answer, Danny. Mario, you got one that jumps into your head?
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z has a movie, so I would have Saiyan powers.
Hell yeah, dude. Super Saiyan.
Not be as violent as them, but, be able to fly. And
well, the problem is if you're not as violent as them, you're not going to go Super Saiyan. Literally, how Saiyans train is by beating the hell out of their body. When they heal stronger.
But they also need to get really mad, so if something just made me really mad, I could probably still go Super Saiyan.
Well, if you had the base of training, yes, I agree. I agree.
I feel like you'd want something low key though, like something like you don't want to stand out too much.
Yeah,
like you want to keep your normal life,
radar.
but you want to have that power.
I don't want the.
That's
power
why I picked Jumper.
No, I know it's a great answer. I don't want the power to read minds because that just made me too insecure. Like nobody needs to know what people are thinking about them all the time. Be awful.
Yeah. Good dating thing though. Good for dating.
I guess.
That would be your perfect date. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, but again, you better have some tough skin, bro. Right? I
know. No,
I'm saying what a lot of people really think.
Potentially catastrophic.
You're sitting there pumping away, and it's just like, oh my god, dude, this is awful. Like what? Hashtag. Let's do one more here, maybe. I know I didn't answer the power question. I'm gonna have to think. I'm not sure.
I mean, also the Flash has a really awesome power, which is pretty much close to Jumper.
Pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. But there is the meathead in me that just wants to be like, it's super strength. But like it doesn't, like I don't know what I would do with super strength. I don't know that it would really do anything.
Like maybe you didn't say Green Lantern.
Maybe I could be. Oh well, I guess I didn't. I guess I wasn't counting that as a power because it originates from the ring, right? But like, shoot, dude. I mean, you know me. Yeah. I love GL. Like I'll rock that ring. I don't know if I have the willpower to, but I'll rock it. That'll be it. Let's go to break because I want to get to Coach Mulkey. Thank you so much for all your questions in the chat. Always super fun. YouTube.com/1045 ESPN. And when we get back, let's talk to Coach Kim Mulkey, who has been on fire lately. Keep it locked right here. Remember, go to Central Plumbing for any of your plumbing needs. 925-8552. CentralPlumbing.org is the number. It's really easy, y'all. The Payne family's been at it for nearly 5 decades. You're not going to be able to hit them with anything they don't know how to solve. Everybody's licensed, bond insured. You just pick up a phone. You don't lift a finger, and your plumbing needs are fixed. Plumbing's hard, too, right? Like, you can screw up things, plumbing, very easily. I have made problems worse before doing them on my own. So for almost everything now, I just call Central Plumbing and I don't have a problem. I forgot to tell you, boys, I got a bidet. Haven't installed it yet. May do it today, but I'm very excited. Big news for your boy. I'm going to cut down on my TP usage a lot. And so no longer clogging toilets. So sorry, Central Plumbing, I may not be calling you as much. CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552. Back more next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Yo, Jake here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic, reminding you they now have 8 convenient locations across the Baton Rouge area, open from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m. And if you're looking for that COVID test for holiday travel or you have a holiday event coming up, they're the place for you, as well as a flu shot. It's starting to creep up here during flu season, so if you need that shot, make sure you get that. They now have some available through December. You can find more information on their website, patientplusuc.com. That's Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic. Get in and get better.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli? I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Service Master Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
This isn't just another day, it's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
I had to pack up all my things. I had to leave my home. And I never knew where I was going next. It felt like I never even had a say. But then you came along.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you.
Join me, Jimmy Ott and Mike Delicano for the Tuesday evening edition of Game Time, presented by Bet Rivers. We're at Doe's Eat Place on Government Street in the heart of Mid-City. 6 to 8 p.m. right here, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Welcome back to Off the Bench, 104.5 ESPN, 100.3, 94.7, 1130 AM in there, Shreveport. And YouTube.com/1045 ESPN. Every Tuesday, we talk to the best coach on LSU's campus, which is Coach Kim Mulkey. And what more can be said about how the way these Tigers have not just started this season, but specifically started conference play, as Coach Mulkey in her first two SEC games at the head of LSU went on the road, beat Georgia in Athens, and then returned home in the home opener. A Georgia team that was ranked above them and favored, and then returned home and beat a ranked Texas A&M team in the home opener. Coach Mulkey, thank you so much for waking up with us today.
Good morning. I don't know about the best coach on LSU's campus, but I am blessed to coach one of the best teams that I feel is kind of a sleeping giant. And, man, did I inherit good players that are buying into what I'm trying to do, and it's been a lot of fun, guys.
Yeah, a sleeping giant, Coach, and it's been interesting because, again, I think you've just kind of blown all expectation out of the water. And I want to start on a little bit of a kind of a personal and an emotional note, Coach, because it was such a huge move this summer, right? Like front page of ESPN and everything. It's very rare. The move that comes along that warrants that sort of coverage, right? It's especially rare, I think, in women's athletics. And so with that came an incredible amount, and still does, but like pressure and expectation and all of these things. What has it meant to you personally to start in the way that you have? I know that you described the Georgia game as being up there amongst some of the favorite of your career.
Well, you guys know I left a top 5 team in Waco, and what coach in America is confident enough to do that after 21 years? I feel like if you're going to make a move, which I did, you don't leave the cupboard bare, and I did not leave the cupboard bare. I did not leave over anything other than it felt right in my gut. This was the right time to come back home. There was not a lot of convincing that needed to be done by Woodward, the AD. This is home, and it just something told me at this last third of your coaching career, Kim, you can make an impact in other ways than just basketball, and you're going to do that in a state that is your home. And to think that I could come home and quickly have this many people in the stands and win this quickly, I think, honestly, it has to do with people saw me grow up here. I spent 18 years of my life in Hammond, Tazewell Parish, and then 19 in North Louisiana. And so it's kind of like a connection, and that is exactly what I felt when I decided to come back.
Well, and it's interesting because you talk about making an impact on young people, and I was fascinated to learn, Coach. So Alexis Morris went off in that Georgia game, and I got to be honest, I didn't know her story, right? I didn't know that you once dismissed her from the team. She goes and, she goes to Rutgers, then she goes to A&M, and then she finds her way back to you. You talk about having an impact on young people. What did it mean to you that she immediately sought you out to come to LSU? Like, she said that as soon as she heard that you got the job, she knew that she wanted to play for you again, despite the fact that you'd once dismissed her. She wanted to be back with you trying to win basketball games.
And those are the stories that you guys in the media need to really harp on, because it's always the coach's fault when a kid's unhappy, a kid transfers, or a kid is dismissed. It's always the parents and the kids that want to blame the coach. And this young lady knew what she did. She backed me into a corner. The team is bigger than any one individual. I loved her. I mean, I won't tell you what it is, but I have a cute little nickname for her. That's how much I love her. And I wanted her to do good, but the team was bigger than her. And then when I took this job, I wouldn't even accept a call from her.
Wow.
Because I thought, no, we're not going down that road again because, I'm starting a fresh year. And she wouldn't let up, guys. She kept after my assistant coach and just say, you tell Coach Mulkey I'm showing up on that campus If I have to be a manager, if I have to watch her, I need to be around her in my life. She just makes people do right, and she brings out the best in me. And the kid shows up at the first team meeting, and the rest is history. And she got many text messages and DMs that she told me from people. It's like, what are you doing? This lady almost ruined your career. And she said, how did she ruin my career? I did it to myself. Wow. And so she quit following those people. That's the story. And the only conversation I had with her before the season started in my one-on-one individual meeting was, Alexis, you can write the ending to your college story. And let's make it a great one. And I sure would like to be a part of that. And I know LSU will embrace you.
Yeah, and she did that. I might have said Georgia. I think it was against A&M. Now, about the Georgia game, though, there's a moment that I did want to talk to you about. And, again, it's another one that I know that you spoke on, which is that sequence from Kayla Pointer, right, where she has a few bad possessions in a row, all of a sudden losing, looks like he's going to slip through the cracks, and then she hits the big shot. And I don't want to focus on maybe Kayla as much, but more as like from a coaching perspective, that trait in players, is that natural? Do you do any sort of mental training or any program to try to foster that sort of toughness and that sort of kind of high pressure play?
I always believe that teams are a reflection of their coach. I've just always believed that. I actually told the team this week, I made each one of them after practice, tell me one adjective, one sentence, anything that you want a coach to say about you after your career is done. What is it you want somebody to say about you? And they would say, I want them to say I was reliable, I was a team player. They all had their own individual thoughts. And I shared with them the one thing I waited and waited on my whole career for a coach to say, and finally did, and that was, that kid is tough as nails. And those are the kind of kids I want to coach. I want tough kids that when the going gets tough, man, you can dig in and you can get tougher. I always believe tough times don't last, but tough people do. And I think if you're a coach that coaches tough, but yet you show them love, you cry with them, you laugh with them, you cut up with them, you're real with them. And that's who I am. And so Kayla Pointer had a couple bad possessions there at Georgia. We lose the lead, and I could see she felt like she let her team down, had a timeout, and I just looked at her and I said, we're going to win this game, and we're going to put the ball right back in your hand. And I said, let's go. And she nails the shots as you expect the great players to do.
Do you think this team's tough, Coach? You think you got some toughness here?
I think we have some tough individuals. I think I've had to change in a short period of time what they were used to doing in the past. Mm-hmm. A lot of coaches, don't practice hard. A lot of coaches take more time off after big games. We do all the above, but when it's practice, guys, we got to approach it like we do a game. I played the game. I'm not going to wear you out. I'm not going to get you hurt. But we're not coming the next day and my finger's sore. Oh my stitches haven't healed. We gotta work, because that's where you teach. See, the game's the easy part. I make all the time out here. I may write a little here, but at the end of the day, that practice is where that teacher is in the classroom, and that's where you correct everything. And I just love when we go practice. My practices are open. I tell people I don't speak at clinics much anymore. I wore myself out doing it, but if you want to come and you want to watch, my practices are open.
Wait, so they're open to the public? Anybody can go watch?
Absolutely.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely. People come in. I think Coach Wax from the Livingston Parish area came in New Year's, and he said, Kim, people need to pay to watch this. He said, you just are a person of details. You're funny. You laugh with them. You crack jokes, but yet you're serious. You get on them. And I said, I played for some of the greatest. Pat Summitt, Leon Barmore. They put, and I just feel like I've incorporated what I've learned through the years into my own personality. But yeah, my practices are open. It's not like football where you got to have people, walk around the premises and not let them in. Look, there are no secrets. At the end of the day, in basketball, players make plays.
Hell yeah. I mean, look, I think the football privacy's a bit overdone in my opinion, but whatever. That's neither here nor there. Okay, Coach, massive one coming up this Thursday. I know over the break we talked about putting over 6,000 in the stands, over 7,000 there on Sunday. This Thursday, 6 p.m. Against South Carolina. Massive matchup, trying to put over 10K in the stands. Wearing white and all that. What's your message to everybody listening about what this Thursday would mean to pack out the PMAC?
Well, this Thursday, win or lose, it doesn't make us any better team. It makes it more exciting. The community gets behind you. We're playing the number one team in the country. We're playing 2 games in a row now, the 2 teams that tied for the SEC championship last year. If you can have 6,400 at a Sanford game and 7,700 for the A&M game, why can't you have 10,000? Not only to watch your LSU Tigers, but to watch the number one team in the country. You got 2 coaches that played this game at the highest level, both Olympians, both Naismith Hall of Famers. Look, what else do you want on that floor? We're going to have 2 teams get after it, and we need to have LSU represented in a way on television and to the recruits out there in the country that, wow, look what they're building back up again in Baton Rouge. Let's go, Coach. I'm fired up. I cannot wait. I'll be out there amongst that number, going 10K strong in the PMAC this Thursday. Coach Mulkey, thank you so much for making some time for us every Tuesday morning. You're welcome. Get there early. 7,000 white shirts will be given out, and it's going to be a white out, so you don't want to be the 3,000 that didn't get there early enough to get your shirt. Y'all have a great day. All right, Coach, take it easy. Good. I'm glad to hear that about the shirts being given out because, that is the key to making one of these things work, right? LSU, we have proven as fans we are not going to color coordinate unless you just kind of force us to. It also leads to one of my favorite sports fans images, which is the old middle, the old guy that's dressed in his sweater vest and collar, and then he throws on whatever, the cheap T-shirt and his collar's poking out the top. You see it at NBA games all the time. I don't know why. It just holds a special place in my heart. So this Thursday at the PMAC, I'm hoping to bring Alice by the game, man. That's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. All right, wrapping up hour number 2, and then we got Nick Underhill coming up to kick off hour 3. We're going to go deep on the Saints in hour 3. Saints-Falcons. It's almost freaking here. And we got Jake Hester coming up. Keep it locked off the bench.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob. We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
During these challenging times, we know your healthcare needs don't stop. Cancer, accidents, injuries, and heart disease are relentless. So we are relentlessly innovating to keep you safe, both virtually and in person. Connecting you with providers remotely, advancing clinical spaces, providing rapid and accurate testing, social distancing, and certified cleaning protocols. We are Auctioner, and we will not slow down. Auctioner Health, innovating healthcare.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Yo, Jake here from Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic, reminding you they now have 8 convenient locations across the Baton Rouge area, open from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m. And if you're looking for that COVID test for holiday travel, or you have a holiday event coming up, they're the place for you, as well as a flu shot. It's starting to creep up here during flu season, so if you need that shot, make sure you get that. They now have some available through December. You can find more information on their website, patientplusuc.com. That's Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic. Get in and get better.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Join us for a Tuesday edition of Hunt and Hill Double Game Day. Tigers and Wildcats on the hardwood and in the Texas Bowl. We are getting you ready for all of it. Noon to 2 weekdays. It's Hunt and Hill on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Damn, I just read that Texas A&M is the best recruiting class of all time right now. That's, well, I don't know what it is until they prove that they can do something with it. But, I mean, it's still not great, right? I mean, I do love making fun of A&M as much as the next person, but I don't love that. Oh, man, there's a comment that I wanted to get to here. Oh, yeah, how about this? I didn't realize this. So, LSU women's basketball checked in at ranked number 13 today. Baylor is 14th in the country. So, within 15 games, Survive 623 pointed this out. He says, amazing that in 15 games, Coach Mulkey has LSU ranked higher than Baylor. Wow. Yeah, it's wild, man. It's wild. Again, I've never seen such a drastic year-to-year turnaround. And I love that story about Alexis Morris, again, who Coach Mulkey once kicked off of her team at Baylor, right? Morris saying, I get it. It was on me, and forcing her way back onto the team shows personal responsibility, shows maturity. It shows that Coach Mulkey, even if she loves you, she even described Morris as someone who grew up around her program at Baylor. She's been knowing her since 7th grade. She still kicked that girl off the team. That's discipline. LSU football had a distinct lack of discipline. I mean, you look at all the academic issues. What are there, like 8 or 9 guys out for academic issues, basically? And somebody asked me yesterday, it was on the Sconity podcast, check it out. But they asked me, is that on the players? Is that on, because they have all the tools to succeed, right? Like, that's personal. It's not on the coach. It's not on anything else. It's, well, like anything else in life, it is on both. On the micro level, zoomed in, it is on the players. Like, do your job. You've got tutoring, you've got all that stuff. Do what you need to do to stay eligible. You don't have to do it great, just do enough, right? On the macro level, it does factor into the coaches. It becomes about culture, right? Culture where guys are holding each other responsibly. And not even it doesn't have to be from a place of oh, I want you to make good grades. You need to get this done. You get from a place we just need you on the field, bro. So get it together. And when you have a good culture on that macro level, and guys are holding each other responsibly, that's how you That's how you avoid the problems LSU football is going through right now. That's discipline. That's what had deteriorated, unfortunately, here at the end of this most recent era. And we'll see if Brian Kelly can get it back. Coach Mulkey has it, though. And that's obvious, man. I think Sean Payton has it, too, right? We'll talk about it a lot this coming up hour, but this game on Sunday and just this entire year has been an incredible commentary on the Saints culture. Nick Underhill kicking off hour 3 next.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to AccuTempBR.com, AccuTempBR.com. I love being a part of the AccuTemp Star Club. You should go check it out as well, where like they just every few months just check in on you. It's completely free. It's very easy to set up a time. They send you all the information about who's coming out to your home, so you don't need to be worried about like anything in that regard. And obviously everybody's lifespan insured, right? But it's cool because like they'll check on everything, make sure you're okay, your system's good, and then what that does is that avoids catastrophic issues down the road, so you never have to have that major crazy AC or heating overhaul that's going to really stress you financially. They're the best, man. It's it starts at kind of their core mission statement, what they're built on, which is service to the highest degree. They embody it in every single corner of the business, and you feel that. Just trust me. Just go look at the online reviews, AccuTempBR.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Over the years, I've tried a lot of great whiskeys, but one that keeps me coming back is Sazerac Rye.
Countless hours you dedicated on the front lines, choosing to risk your own health to fight for our friends, neighbors, and family members.
I mean, you guys are out on the front lines fighting it.
We are grateful for your heroic acts and unwavering spirit. Together, we are overcoming this adversity and make our state healthier and more vibrant again. Ochsner Health.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli? I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
I had to pack up all my things. I had to leave my home. And I never knew where I was going next. It felt like I never even had a say. But then you came along.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
To Baton Rouge.
Good morning, everybody. It's 9 a.m. on Tuesday, January 4th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect to see clear skies with a high of 59. In case you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, including our conversation with LSU women's basketball coach Kim Mulkey, you can now catch that up at the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. Coming up on OTB, Nick Underhill of NewOrleans.football joins us up next to talk Saints. You can follow today's show on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN or watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. OTB, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios, starts now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo. Weekly New Orleans Saints updates with Nick Underhill on OTB are brought to you by former LSU Tiger and attorney Chris Perrette.
Welcome back to Off the Bench. Jake is in Houston at the Texas Bowl. Me, Martin, Danny hanging out here in hour number 3. I just tweeted out the YouTube link. If you could hit the like button, do the same. It's all very helpful. By the way, Danny, you know what came in yesterday? The chili main. I cannot believe I paid $30 for cans of chili. I'm an idiot. Let's be painfully clear about that. Which means the worst part is you're going to eat the chili out of shoe and it's not even going to be bad because it's just going to taste like chili. So I'm going to get you a really dirty shoe or something. Like, we're going to have to figure out some way of making this worse. Right now, though, let's go to the phone lines. Speaking of eating dirty chili out of a dirty shoe, Nick, I feel like that's kind of how watching the Saints is right now. And I mean like that in the most positive way, right? You're still going to get your sustenance. You need food to survive and live. You're getting a warm meal in your belly. But it's a bit of a rock fight. It's a bit of a bump fight. Like it's brutal. It's people just throwing wild punches at one another and hoping that they connect. And it's kind of fun in a really weird way. And I cannot wait for Sunday, man.
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of right. It's either they're going to eat or they aren't going to eat, but they probably aren't going to eat good. So, like, are they going to find a meal or not? And they've been finding enough meals and they're getting by, and it doesn't really matter how it tastes. It's keeping them alive. And that's just kind of where they're at in the season, and it's not going to change. It's not going to get better. And I think once you reach a point where you just kind of accept that they are what they are and you just watch them and see if they can find a way to win, I think it probably becomes a more enjoyable experience. But, like, expecting something that's satisfying and optically pleasing, I mean, that's not going to happen, and you're setting yourself up for disappointment. And at this point, if that hasn't been figured out, I mean, it's just time to move on and get to that point and see if they can make the playoffs, maybe win a game there, and then during the off season, that's when hopefully they find the pieces to look a little bit different next year. But I think right now, I mean, in their own weird way, they're extremely frustrating, but it's also kind of like a fun team, like just to see if they can figure out what they're doing and finding a way to keep going. And the fact that they're at this point, end of the season, chance to go to the playoffs, down quarterback, both tackles, a wide receiver, the offensive line is 4 guys out. It's crazy that they're still alive. And I mean, I think you just have to embrace like kind of that aspect of it as opposed to like, okay, well, this team doesn't look very good. Well, yeah, they don't look good, but they're winning. And that's, it's kind of incredible.
Well, and it's kind of cool to me, Nick, because if you think about, people love to talk about things, and we talk about it in the LSU sense a bit, but people love to talk about things like culture and, and the organization top to bottom being run well and put together well. And what do you think it would mean for kind of evaluating the Saints culture if they make the playoffs in a season in which they've had an NFL record number of different starters? They've lost, as you said, like important positions as well, right? Like they're starting quarterback, they're starting tackles. Hurricane Ida forced them away from their home for 6 weeks, a month and a half at the beginning of the season. They had a 5-game losing streak in the middle. They've had COVID problems. Like, what does it say about this organization if they still make the playoffs?
I think that's something you can build on, and I think that becomes the fabric of who you are. And I think that's a really good foundation to kind of be starting from, and to have that be the culture where this is who we are to the new players that come in, and they adhere to that, and you get maybe more talented players or healthier on offense, and you build upon that. And I think it makes you a better team. And And I don't even think it matters if they make the playoffs. I mean, I think that culture's already been established and it's there. And my God, man, I forgot about the Ida and Dallas.
I forgot about Ida too.
I
Isn't
mean,
that crazy, bro? Like it's been such a year that we don't even remember that anymore.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, everybody here has been through a lot. This team has been through a lot, and it's nuts that they're still standing. I had them, honestly, at some point during that 5-game losing streak, I started to think that it was over for them, and they had just been through too much, and how were they going to get back on track? And it was going to be hard. And here they are, and there's a lot to figure out. I mean, they got to figure something out at quarterback. I mean, obviously, I don't think Taysom's your long-term starter. They got to figure things out at wide receiver. I mean, there's a lengthy shopping list for this team, but the fact that they're here, I mean, Sean Payton, I see people all the time criticizing the coach and saying they're doing things the wrong way. And, I always ask those people, like, okay, well, what would you do? They never have an answer. I mean, and that's kind of, where it's at right now. I think he's done an incredible job coaching, and, you can try to nitpick on the plays and, why are they running outside zone when they don't have anyone who can block? Well, do you want them to run man blocking schemes up the middle where you can't block and your talent isn't better than the other teams? At least with zone stuff, you're trying to hide some of your limitations, but that's they're coaching through limitations, and there isn't a lot of good answers on a play-to-play basis. You just hope that there's enough at the end to find a way to score points, and they're finding those ways. And he gets his team into the playoffs. I mean, I think it's probably one of the more impressive things he's done as a coach, honestly. I mean, it's an incredible amount of attrition, and they might get there. And I honestly think it is quite possibly, one of his better coaching jobs.
Well, and it's crazy, Nick. As we're talking here, I mean, even think about the offseason coaching turnover, right? So, like, you're even working in some new faces as well this year. How about this? So, within this year, there have been people that have emerged that have gotten more love than they ever would have gotten maybe if things hadn't gone the way they'd gone down. And I think about that defense, right? Like, Demario Davis is now as beloved as any Saint that I can ever think of. But he's always, I guess, been a bit more that way. Cam Jordan, same thing, right? But what about Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, man? And the reason I bring him up is a couple. First off, he's, has these excellent highlight plays and funny highlight moments, like staring down Brady and then closing the game out the other day with the sack and the pick and everything. But I also think, like, if you just look at when they were losing and how it correlated to him being out, like, what does Chauncey Gardner-Johnson mean to this team?
It's funny. I think you're right. I think he is kind of coming like part of the identity of the team. And, I think he's gotten better, though, too. I think he's elevated his game, and I think that's part of it as well. I think last year, a lot of times when I break down the film, that there'd be the big plays, but there'd be a lot of plays where he's taking chances and the chances aren't paying off for him. I think he's done a better job of leveling out that percentage, and I think he's making the right moments to take chances, try to jump a play off his instincts. I mean, I think he's doing a better job of that, and you see it. I think it makes a difference, and it's resulting in more big plays. And that emotional leader, though, I mean, the way they feed off him and the way the teammates look at him, and when he's out there, the energy he brings, it's a difference maker. And I think it matters a lot. And, he is becoming, part of that fabric of that defensive core piece of it. And we are seeing him kind of grow into that this year. And I think that's been one of the developments. And I think it helps in a game like last week when you're down every other safety, except him. PJ goes out. He's kind of like the last man standing there. And, he makes the big plays. He gets a sack. He gets an interception. But, really, I think it is just a lot more sound play from him. And, Kenny Vaccaro was kind of the same type of player. Like, he'd peel off and play on instincts, and I think it would get him in trouble sometimes. And that was kind of where Chauncey was at, but it's gotten better, and it's gotten, way more sound. And he is really becoming a big piece of that team.
Yeah, it's great. Didn't he picked off Brady both games this year too, right? Just a side note, no? Or just, I don't know. No, it's both games. Yeah. Okay, cool. Another guy that we should give love to, and this is kind of odd, Nick, because I don't think this goes anywhere because Will Lutz comes back. But, I mean, how about Brett Maher, dude? I mean, 13 of 14? He's now made 12 field goals in a row. Give me your kind of outlook on this Atlanta matchup on Sunday. Do you think this thing maybe comes down to the leg of Brett?
So it's funny, though, the last game, they get the touchdown at the end. I almost wanted them, and it's better for the health of the team to have a good drive and to look better on offense. But I almost wanted special teams and defense to get that accolade of winning 2 out of 3 games where they didn't score a touchdown in any of the 3 games.
Yes.
And it's just on the leg of the kicker in the defense, because really that's how those games played out. And they're kind of the units that have been carrying this team. Like, the Saints play good defense. They play good special teams. He did miss an extra point, which kind of sullied the experience a little bit for Brett. But look, he's been solid, and they had a really hard time figuring that out. And you look at it, and you just kind of think, man, if they had stuck with him and went back to him after Lutz got hurt, maybe they win some of those other games earlier in the season as they're rolling through, Rojas and some of the other guys. So he's definitely been a big part of this team. As far as this upcoming game, I think it's extremely winnable. I mean, the only thing that you worry about is just kind of that, Atlanta Saints thing where they're always going to play each other really well. It doesn't matter if one of the teams is terrible one year. Like, it just seems like they always find a way to play a close game, a competitive game. And, I think Atlanta's going to be juiced up to try to spoil their season. And, they're going to throw everything at them. The good thing is that, the game they're counting on is kind of the same type of game, the Cardinals and Rams. And I think I saw a stat like where the Cardinals have won like 4 of those games in a row or something. Like, I don't know. It was a weird, surprising stat where the Cardinals have had the upper hand in that a little bit. So, I'm sorry, San Francisco.
Okay, yeah, I was okay. I was so
I got it
confused
backwards.
because I just assumed that I was wrong all day. I'm like, wait, what? Okay, San Francisco.
No, I had to get up at 4 o'clock to drive my parents to the airport, so I'm struggling. Yeah, so I think it sets up well though overall. Like, on paper, like if there's a game that you needed, I like that game for them. So yeah, the Rams and 49ers. We're straightened out now. So I think the Rams should win that game. The Saints should win that game. And I think
it'd be awesome.
It sets up. It's interesting. They go to LA. They play the Rams again. It'd be a kind of the Tommy Lee Lewis revenge game. Maybe you find a way to get through it. And but I like the way it's going to play out. If I had to set up in a manner in which the Saints were not in control of their own destiny, at least that's a game where you look at it and you think, okay, like this should work out. Like, they need to win to get the number 2 seed. They're the better team. So yeah, I mean, I think it could set up for them.
And you gotta love the simultaneous games, right? That's always super fun. Nice job of the NFL flexing it. How about this, Nick? You think the Saints defense is going to be, I mean, look, obviously they know themselves. They're very confident. Cam Jordan's playing incredibly right now. But you think the Saints defense is going to be out for a little extra, a little something? Because, like, the Falcons offense kind of embarrassed them in that game in the Dome.
Yeah, look, they're playing good, though. I mean, I don't even know if they need something extra at this point. I mean, Cam coming to life, I think it's such a huge thing for this team. I mean, they got 2 guys playing like elite-level pass rushers at this point. David Onyemata is playing a little better. He was really good against the run in the last game. I think he's still looking for something in the pass rush, but he's playing well. I think up front they got everything working for him. And Cam's resurgence is just absolutely crazy. He's 2 sacks away from being a top 3 season of his career. And, 8 weeks ago, we're talking about, like, does this guy have, how much does he have left? And he's got a lot left. And look, he was getting a lot of pressure early in the season and that, but now that it's turning into the actual production, I mean, it's a lot easier to see. And it's, if he can maintain that level going forward in the next year, you get Peyton Turner back, you got a really, really outstanding front. I mean, I think they're really good right now, but the pieces are there for it to be like top of the league. And the secondary's playing good. Marshawn's locked back in. He had a little ball there. I thought that coincided, coincidentally, with that 5-game losing streak. There were a few games in there where he was up and down. He's been playing at that elite level. You get Marcus Williams back. He's playing great. Like, I don't think they need to put anything extra on this game. Everything's there for them on defense. And look, the motivation for them is they know they gotta play their best for them to even have a chance to win any game, and that's a playoff game for them this week. So I think they should handle it a little bit. It should be better, and really it's just a matter of can the offense score 14 points and that's get a couple field goals, and that's how you got to win these games. But it's a slim margin for the defense, and they know that. They'll be locked in.
Let's just hit 20. They could somehow hit 20 points, have a really good shot at this thing. Nick Underhill at Nick_Underhill. I forgot to say this. New Orleans Football is a site. It is Nick's own baby, and it's incredible, y'all. The best Saints coverage. Go ahead and sign up today. It goes directly to support Nick and the site, making it bigger and better and stronger all the time. Nick, thank you so much, man. I would say for waking up with us, but sounds like you've been up. So thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
Later, man. All right, when we get back, we are going to probably I have some thoughts on the Saints a little bit and a couple of news pieces breaking as well. And then we will talk to Jay Kester a bit later on the hour also. Keep it on Off the Bench.
OTB, OT.
Go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com, right there off of Airline Highway. They're the best, man. I love going over there, and really I like how they guided me through the car purchasing process. I'm someone who can have a little bit of decision paralysis by analysis, and I can get a little in my head and not exactly know what I'm looking for, what I want. And they help find answers for me and my family that have been great. Not just getting the minivan or whatever, which is a complete game changer, in my opinion, if you have kids, multiple small kids with car seats. But then randomly out of nowhere, I needed a second car, and that was unexpected. And I went in there with a number, and they found me a Toyota Camry lease that fit that number great, and it's an awesome car, and I love it. And it's been perfect for my situation. They have the answers for whatever your questions may be. And they have the selection of both new and used. The rentals, you want per day rental price that's cheaper than traditional rental companies. You want to go to All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge. Go see them off of Airline today, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
Yo, Jake here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic, reminding you they now have 8 convenient locations across the Baton Rouge area, open from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m. And if you're looking for that COVID test for holiday travel, or you have a holiday event coming up, they're the place for you, as well as a flu shot. It's starting to creep up here during flu season, so if you need that shot, make sure you get that. They now have some available through December. You can find more information on their website, patientplusuc.com. That's Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic. Get in and get better.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Join us for a Tuesday edition of Early Line as we give our final thoughts on LSU, Kansas State, and the Texas Bowl. Go out to Las Vegas to talk to Rafael Esparza and preview LSU, Kentucky, and hoops. Early Line, 2 p.m., 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB, OT, with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
All right, I think we're going to have a tweet that's probably going to start to make the rounds pretty soon here. There's a guy, Jim DeFede? I don't know. He's on Twitter. I guess he's like a CBS Miami reporter or something. But I just saw this video. He was just talking about it, and I didn't even get to it because I came right before the commercial break stopped. But he's on I-95 in Virginia. He's been where he's at for 15 hours. He's on gridlock, traffic. They're not moving. He's been stuck in his car for 20 hours total, but at one point on I-95 for 15. I got stopped on 85 for like 2 when I was driving back from Georgia there. That was awful. Jesus, that sounds horrible. What sort of hell is this? Oh, bro, I'm telling you guys, the Retro Bowl love is coming in fast and heavy. It's all over the chat. Look at this text I just got from Jake a minute ago. Damn you for telling me about Retro Bowl, by the way. Everybody's playing it, dude. And I'm not doing ads or anything for him, something like that. My boy Will told me about it, and I was just shocked because, I think this is the best football video game that's out right now. It is sick. Oh, yeah, look, there you go right there. I actually save a lot of my replays. I screen record them and save them, and I'm like, why am I doing this? I don't know. I document all my gaming, though. I have a hard drive with just screenshots from a ton of games, chess screenshots, which are like everything. These highlights will go in them as well. I never look back on them. I always tell myself I will. Maybe it's about trying to feel like my time isn't wasted or die. I don't know. Maybe like when I'm old and dying, I'll go back and look and be like, oh man, look how awesome that was. But yeah, what? Oh, I don't remember doing that. Oh, that was the training. Retro Bowl though, really, really good. And if you're worried about it being too easy, I mean, you can always just jack up the difficulty from the beginning and it gets incredibly hard. But they do have a dynamic difficulty setting where you will, where it adjusts based on how you play, right? So it does get hard. It gets very hard and it's fun. You're like fighting for wild cards. I mean, I was in the Super Bowl 16-1 one year. I had remade the team, new rookie class, developed him. Second year, everything was happening and made it in the Super Bowl. I'm rolling teams. And I just choked, man. Just straight up choked. Threw a couple picks. Next thing you know, I lose. Next thing you know, I got to blow up the team because of the guys got so good that I can't afford them all. Next year, freaking quarterback gets his neck hurt, and I'm just sitting here. I can't win a freaking Retro Bowl. It's killing me. It's killing me. I need to get Saquon Pugh on. So check it out. It's awesome. Other things that I want to talk on, a quick couple of notes here that broke during the show. Apparently the Washington football team will be revealing a new logo, mascot, and colors soon. Do we know when that's going to be? What did it say again?
I believe February 2nd.
Okay, February 2nd. So we'll be on the lookout for that. I personally definitely come around to Washington football team. I really I don't know. I thought it was cool, but I get it. I mean, if I'm the NFL and I'm trying to ensure consistency amongst my franchises, I don't think you want to open the door for teams to maybe be able to do that. And then the other bit of news is that Cardell Flott has declared for the NFL draft. So that was according to Shay Dixon, I think on the Colada show this morning. So Cardell Flott no longer going to be in an LSU uniform. Disappointing because he was really good this year, and Could have been a key part of next year. But again, I mean, this is, I don't blame anybody as LSU is beginning anew. I don't blame anybody who seeks their own new beginning as well, right? Because you never really know how things are going to work out with the new staff. You never really know. It's starting over. And if you're already on maybe the edge of making that decision like Flott was, I could see that pushing you across the finish line. Boys, I've talked a lot about the Saints today, and I could talk about some of the same things. Like I agree with what me and Nick talked about, right? I think it's a real testament to the Saints culture top to bottom that they've had an NFL record number of starters. They've lost their quarterback, their tackles, Hurricane Ida, the 5-game losing streak, COVID problems. They've had all this stuff, and yet still they sit here on the cusp of the playoffs. That's impressive in and of itself. The Atlanta Falcons can't even make the playoffs. What's their excuse? Like what? Like nothing. Like they didn't have anything. They've had Matt Ryan. If the Saints had Matt Ryan, they'd be like 11-5 or something right now. So it is absolutely a testament to the organization, win or lose on Sunday. But boys, how are you feeling?
I mean, from what you just said, I think you can maybe make the argument that Atlanta's had a decent first season. New head coach Arthur Smith, new GM with Terry Fontenot. Yeah, they had Matt Ryan. You're kind of wasting his prime years, but he didn't have too much to work with. That they retooled that roster. I think you can build on what they did this season, especially if you end the season with a win against the Saints, your arch rival. So.
Well, okay, so I do like the devil's advocate approach with Atlanta, but what I'm talking about more, and granted they're here at the beginning of a new culture, new organization, so maybe that does start to change, right? But a lot of that lack of weapons and everything were kind of by their own design. They weren't influenced by injuries. Like they had to get rid of Julio Jones because of corners that they had backed themselves into, and they don't have talent as much because of corners and traps they've created for themselves. But you do raise a good point in terms of Atlanta trying to change that culture, spoiling the Saints season and going 2-0 and year number 1 of a new head coach with Arthur Smith, especially since Sean Payton has just dominated this series for so long. That would be pretty massive. So there's a lot on the line for both teams here. Danny, what do you think? You too, for the first time this year, you had a bit of a low moment going into Tampa game number 2. We all did, right? Nobody thought the Saints were going to win that game. How are you feeling about Sunday?
Feeling good. The Saints are going to be motivated, especially on the road, going into Atlanta. And they always seem to play better on the road, which makes me more confident in this game.
That's a fair point.
So, yeah, I think I expect them to get the W, and defense going to play good as they've been playing, and offense just needs to step up.
Yeah. How many touchdowns do you think you need to score to win? 1?
Maybe 2. Probably 2. Last time was 27-25.
I think if you talk about predicting a win, it probably needs to be 2. I think you can win with 1. I do not think you'll be able to win with 0.
I love how 2 sounds like a lot.
It sounds insurmountable, bro. Well, these are some of the stats that we didn't get to in the Nick interview, but which I came across in various articles today. Wait, where exactly was it? Okay, here it is. Because we talk about the Saints winning nasty and dirty. The Saints have won 2 of 3, right? During those 2 of 3, the Saints had 11 straight quarters where they didn't score a touchdown until Alvin Kamara finally broke through in the 4th last week. At one point, from the 4th quarter of the Bucs game until some portion of the game on Sunday, I can't remember exactly what it was, the Saints were 1 of 21 on 3rd down. You know why it felt so bad? Because it is so bad. 1 of 21? Less than 5%. It's unbelievable. Like, that's why every drive felt so miserable. There were no drives. You have to convert, like, not even, at least give me like 5%. So, I don't know, man. It's going to be another rock fight, like I said. But that's okay. There's something wonderfully dirty that you can kind of embrace if you want to, and it ends up becoming a lot of fun. It's kind of like how, we live now in a day and age where in these major movies and everything, fight scenes are so over the top and they're so choreographed and CGI. And there's a place for that, and I love that. Don't get me wrong. I love that, right? It'd be cool if that's what the Saints offense was still emulating and they were like just this perfectly oiled machine. But then you have your like Indiana Jones, where it's basically just Harrison Ford back in the day, like running around punching people. And like Stranger Things brought that back with Hopper in season 1, where he's not doing anything special. He just runs up to you and he just like hits you with the old right. And that's it. Like, that's what this Saints offense, or the Saints team, not the offense. The offense is a joke, but the defense they're the one just throwing that big right fist. And let's see who can stand up if they catch one on the chin. Damn, I hope they beat the Falcons on Sunday, dude. But we got plenty of time to talk about that. Coming up next, let's go back to the phones. We got our guy Jake Hester. Huh? Who? Checking in. He is from Houston, boots to the ground. We'll ask about retro ball, everything else. Keep it locked right here on OTB.
OTB, OT.
Go to DonaldSGlassandBody.com, DonaldSGlassandBody.com. Jeez, dude, I'm just thinking about that guy stuck on the interstate for 15 hours. What'd you do? What do you do for food? What if you died on the interstate? That'd be awful. You don't have to worry about such things when you get with Donald's Glass and Body, because for all of your car needs, they have you covered. Tires, wheels, brakes, collision repair, alignment, glass, oil change, like simple, complex, it doesn't matter. They do it all. Now, if we're talking about some of the big problems, okay? If you get in an accident, the insurance company cannot tell you where to go, and the police cannot tell you who gets to tow. So you say, listen here, buddy, I want Donald's Glass and Body. And they'll come out, they'll pick you up, fix your vehicle, right? Be great. And the body shop's quality work is second to none. You're going to be blown away. Just wait until you see the body shop in person. It's wild. Let's say, though, you need some collision repair on your vehicle. Well, anywhere in the listening area, Donald's Glass and Body offers free pickup and delivery. How's that for convenience and customer service? Go to dgbauto.com.
Our listeners fire up their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Vizzy, the first hard seltzer with antioxidant vitamin C. It just hits different. Vizzy, step up your seltzer game.
Yo, Jake here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic, reminding you they now have 8 convenient locations across the Baton Rouge area, open from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m. And if you're looking for that COVID test for holiday travel, or you have a holiday event coming up, they're the place for you, as well as a flu shot. It's starting to creep up here during flu season, so if you need that shot, make sure you get that. They now have some available through December. You can find more information on their website, patientplusuc.com. That's Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic. Get in and get better.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli? I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana. A jam-packed day. We're previewing LSU, Kentucky, and hoops, and the Texas Bowl with LSU and Kansas State. Join us, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
So let's go there. Let's make our escape. Come on, let's
OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
LSU basketball looking to get hired. LSU football looking to go hired. Let's go right now to the phone lines. The man who stays hired, Jake Hester. Number 18 on the field, number 1 in your hearts, the legend, the normal, subservient co-host to me, the main host on this show. Jake, what's up, bro? How you doing?
I mean, you trying to get me fired up with Creed in the morning?
I know. I'm pretty happy right now. Even though, when I finally win the Retro Bowl with Saquon Pugh, I'm going to play higher immediately afterwards in celebration. Jake, how is
won yet?
No. So here's the deal. I want to be painfully clear about it. It's really easy in the beginning, right? I won a couple early on, and then I started over. I was like, okay, I'm going to New Orleans. I'm going to start all over. Had to rebuild the team after year one. Build up the whatever. The point is, I have not won it since I got down to NOLA, and it's been a lot of heartbreaking ends. But yeah, so we were texting, I think last night. I put the kids down. I was like, I'm just going to play like 1 or 2 games, and I'm going to get started on the show. Jake's out tomorrow, so I need to do a little extra. And next thing I know, it's been an hour and a half, and I've lost another Retro Bowl. Like, this time just disappears, bro.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I was like, man, I've played like 20 minutes, and I looked up, and it was like 2 hours in. It wasn't good. I hate you for telling me about it. I mean, I go from getting hired at Seattle. I'm now at Cincinnati after winning at Seattle. I'm at Cincinnati, much more difficult. I got no good players now. It's a struggle. You know, I'm like 8-3 right now in my second season, just trying to figure out my ways.
It's so much fun, dude. So what else could be pretty fun? It's going to be tonight's game. Now, obviously, LSU basketball is going to be first up, but then the Texas Bowl. Jake, we talked to Brady Miller this morning, and it looks like all signs are pointing towards Jontre Kirkland being the quarterback. Thoughts?
Yeah, I don't think there's any question that Jontre is going to get most of, if not all of the run here at quarterback. And we talked about it, too, like a month ago, whenever this game was announced, that would probably be the best plan if Garrett couldn't get the redshirt waiver. And hey, I mean, it is what it is. It's a 6-6 versus 7-5 team, and you've got 39 scholarship players, and you've got Jontre Kirkland playing quarterback. But I can tell you this, just from kind of seeing the guys and walking around the hotel when I got here last night. The guys that are here are excited to play. I mean, Jontre's locked in. I mean, obviously he's excited to get out there and get this opportunity. How many people thought that would ever happen in his career? We've all seen him play quarterback at Lutcher when he's winning state championships and beating Meat in the Superdome a couple of years ago. So it's not like he doesn't have a skill set. He certainly does. But how many plays can you truly have for Jontre? Like, what's it going to look like? Is it a package of 10, 15 plays? And I mean, you don't know that. Obviously, you're down at the running back position as well. You only got a couple of guys up. You got 3 corners. So obviously it's a light roster. I don't know how many plays are truly going to have, but I can tell you this: a couple of the people that obviously work around the program have been talking about the improvements that Jontre's made from the first day they started at quarterback until where he's at right now. So I mean, it sounds like they're going to have more than just read option up. They're going to let him go out there, obviously have that stuff up, but also run around, throw it around a little bit, get him on the move. I would assume, T-Bob, that everything's on the table. You know, I mean, when you're in this situation, you can't go out there and be conservative. I would assume like it's going to be kind of like LSU's been over the last 4 games since ever they had the bye week, and just kind of let it loose and let it rip.
Yeah, I mean, let it rip. That's exactly it. We're actually watching Jontre Kirkland highlights in the studio right now, and they're pretty awesome. But the real star, I don't know who he threw a touchdown to, but old boy from Lutcher just pulled the Ronaldo in the end zone and got the flag thrown on him. That was awesome. Hey, Jake, how is Houston? What's the environment been like? Give us a little boots on the ground perspective here.
It's actually been like a normal bowl game, and I know you're like, well, it is a normal bowl game, but look, LSU's not used to being 6-6, and they've been in this bowl before, but they weren't 6-6. But being around the hotel, and we're actually in the hotel connected to the Galleria, there is a ton of LSU fans. There's certainly a lot of Kansas State fans as well. I'm sure they're pretty excited about this opportunity. So just from the outside, it does feel like that normal bowl game. You got the hospitality room, and you've got all the guys kind of walking around in new bowl gear. So the feel of the city does feel like LSU's in town. You know, they got TAFs events going on across the place as well. We all know what the alumni base is here in Houston. So really, honestly, everything outside of you having 39 scholarship players and kind of having, you know, coaches coaching just everywhere, you know, like you got analysts and different coaches trying to just hold together this coaching staff until the new staff takes over. Outside of that stuff, it feels normal.
Talking to Jake Hester here on Off the Bench, obviously on the show normally. Jake, the spread's up to 7 now. Kansas State, I believe, favored by a touchdown. What are you thinking on tonight's game, man?
T-Bob, I have zero idea. Like, truly no idea.
If I forced you to put money on it, would you just fall back on LSU plus 7?
I mean, LSU, yeah, why not? I mean, the guys that LSU have playing, I mean, they still got Mason Smith. They still got Jaquelin Roy.
Yeah.
They got Jay Ward. I mean, they got some Jimmies and Joes. We talked about they got all 4 of their receivers up. They've got Corey Kiner up. They have their starting offensive line. So they've still got guys out there. You know, you're never going to line K-State up and say they got better talent than LSU, but the depth. And if you have one injury here, and if, you know, you need somebody to go in for a couple of series, like who's that person going in? That's your worry with LSU. And that, you know, Deuce Vaughn for Kansas State is really the one guy that makes you nervous. He's a dynamic returner. He's dynamic running the football, catching the football. That's somebody that if he goes off, you could be in trouble. But, I mean, look, if you stay healthy, you've got an opportunity in this game. Now, you're going to be asking a lot of players, certainly some defensive linemen, to basically play the entire game just because, I mean, the numbers are what they are. We've never seen numbers like this. I mean, you're going to have guys, T, that, I mean, Chris Blair doesn't know their name. The voice of the LSU Tigers. He's going to have to look up who's making the tackle. He's going to have to look up a lot of different things, not necessarily on the offense. The offense still has key pieces, but on the defense, I mean, there's going to be some guys playing that you've never really heard of. And something we hadn't even talked about, those guys that are playing are normally what? Special teamers, right? That's where they kind of play. Well, now they're going to be playing, so you're going to have people you've really never heard of playing special teams. And remember, Deuce Vaughn is a returner. So you hope that Avery Atkins kicks it out of the back of the end zone every time.
Yeah, you would hope so. We'll see, man. And now you know what I do like about that, though, is that those special teams guys tend to be some war daddies, been a little crazy. Like, they're going to love having this opportunity, but I guess it's just a question of, you know, opportunity is great, but are you good enough? I do like the fact that the big boys have fully taken over. The O-line's the only group that is untouched by the attrition. Brad Davis is now the head coach. If LSU is going to win this game, it's going to be in large part because of that LSU offensive line. Jake, last one before we let you get out of here. LSU, Kentucky, PMAC, what you got?
Oh, man, that's one of those environments I wish I was at. I know there's a lot of people probably stayed back for that game and not coming over to Houston for the Texas Bowl. I like LSU at home. We talked with Aaron Torres, was that yesterday, and he mentioned, look, going to some of these hostile environments is very difficult for these players. They haven't had to do it in years now because of the situation we had last year with COVID. And obviously you lose a game on the road to Auburn. This team's not dead. This team is still a really good basketball team, right? And so they're going to come in. They're going to be motivated. Kentucky's good, but it's not a typical top 5 Kentucky team. They're more of a top 20 Kentucky team, which LSU certainly is kind of in that same vein as well. So I like LSU in this matchup. I like for the PMAC to be rocking. I think LSU fans are going to show up. They're going to show out. You know, normally there's a lot of other things kind of going on around LSU sports at this moment, but LSU basketball, men's and women's, is probably the most popular thing going right now. So that environment's going to be fantastic. Wish I could be there, and I think LSU pulls it off.
Hell yeah. Jake Hester. Actually, Jake, what's your Twitter?
Jacob Hester 2018. I changed it.
Okay, there you go. At Jacob Hester 18.
I didn't even know my own Twitter. That's bad.
It is bad. Also, why Jacob, not Jake? Is that like a imaging or like a branding thing?
Well, you know, it's just, you know, it's kind of the name that a lot of people know.
Yeah,
I mean, you know me as Jake, but other people know me as Jacob. It's the whole thing.
No, I get it. Look, you know me. When I go to like coffee places, stuff, they ask for a name, I say Bob. Just makes it easier.
Yeah.
No T-Bob.
I actually like you could go Robert if you're feeling extra fancy.
Well, but
that
no,
day.
but again, my name's not Robert. That's where this gets weird. It's a little. It
Well,
is
your name's
actually
not Bob
Bobby.
either.
No, well, but it's
Yeah.
Bobby. So Bob, I think Bob.
Yeah, but it's not. Yeah, well, Bobby's not Bob.
Well, okay, yeah, I guess actually, technically, yeah, I've been hoisted on my own petard there. All right, Jake. Well, look, have a great day. Where can everybody find you today?
We will be doing the hurry up after the game, win, lose, or draw. Me and Cody Worsham, we're going to knock out a podcast as well earlier before the game, just kind of talk about the wildness of the numbers. And so we got a lot going on, and we'll see how it goes. The hurry up could be very interesting depending on how this game goes.
All right, Jake, take it easy, brother. And we will see you in a couple days, I'm guessing, right? Not tomorrow?
Yeah, the game's at 8 o'clock, so me getting back from Houston
No, I'm
after 8
just,
o'clock
I'm just making sure. I'm just making sure. All right, perfect.
Yeah, but you'll hear from me tomorrow. We will recap the game tomorrow.
Yes, sounds good. All right, man. Talk to you then. Later.
Bye, brother.
All right. Look, go to RejuveMeMedical.com. RejuveMeMedical.com. You need to feel younger, feel better, mental clarity, energy rolling in and out of bed. RejuveMeMedical.com creates a plan for you. Fire Schooner says, time to let my 3-time MVP QB walk. $45 million is just too much. I paid mine $40 million. Got to get that Retro Bowl this year. Come on, baby. We got this, Saquon. All right, when we get back, let's close out the show here on OTB.
OTB, OT.
Ask the Bench coming up next. So if you want to go ahead and put your questions in the chat. And if you ever have any questions about, let's say, T-Bob, where should I buy Hustler equipment? Like I want a zero-turn mower or something for my lawn. You want to go to GoTro'sOutdoorPower.com. Shane Gotro's been at this thing for 18 years, man. It is a family, locally owned business. And he started 18 years ago because he was in the lawn care business. He's like, you know what, man? I think, he's dealing with dealerships. Like, man, they don't treat their customers like they should. It's not as easy as it should be. And that's why at Gotro's, they make it easy. When you buy any equipment from Gotro's, 2 locations now in Baton Rouge and Gonzales, you get a few distinct advantages. I love the fact you get full access to the parts department, full access to the service department. So if anything breaks down, they have you covered. You're okay. And then how about this? Free delivery anywhere in the state. So I know we got a lot of listeners up there through one grade. A lot of people listening from all over. If you're in Louisiana, Gotro's Outdoor Power has you. GoTro'sOutdoorPower.com.
We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Real Cajun, real fast is here, Baton Rouge. Stop by Off the Hook's brand new location for shrimp po' boys, mouth-watering seafood gumbo, and southern fried catfish. Experience the menu for yourself at our new location at Corporate Boulevard near College Drive and I-10.
Remember that Red Stick Sports has you covered?
Large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All Star Toyota today.
During these challenging times, we know your healthcare needs don't stop. Cancer, accidents, injuries, and heart disease are relentless. So we are relentlessly innovating to keep you safe, both virtually and in person, connecting you with providers remotely, advancing clinical spaces, providing rapid and accurate testing, social distancing, and certified cleaning protocols. We are Auctioner, and we will not slow down. Auctioner Health, innovating healthcare.
I had to pack up all my things. I had to leave my home. And I never knew where I was going next. It felt like I never even had a say. But then you came along.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Yo, Jake here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic, reminding you they now have 8 convenient locations across the Baton Rouge area, open from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m. And if you're looking for that COVID test for holiday travel, or you have a holiday event coming up, they're the place for you, as well as a flu shot. It's starting to creep up here during flu season, so if you need that shot, make sure you get that. They now have some available through December. You can find more information on their website, patientplusuc.com. That's Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic. Get in and get better.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Join me, Jimmy Ott and Mike Delicano, for the Tuesday evening edition of Game Time, presented by Bet Rivers. We're at Doe's Eat Place on Government Street in the heart of Mid-City. 6 to 8 p.m. right here, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
A singer in a smoky room, a smell of wine and cheap perfume. For a smile they can share the night. It goes on and on and on and on. Strangers waiting up and down the boulevard.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
All right, let's dive right into Ask the Bench by Cold Coors Light. Visit our Telter Blue Moon Light Sky Citrus Sweet. Scott Dice. Queso with beef in it or without beef? With beef, always. Chorizo specifically, and spinach. Boys?
I say without. I like a good queso plain.
Okay. Well,
No, definitely with beef.
Okay.
And chorizo.
Okay, perfect. Good. One of you had the right answer. Has the bench. Wait. I don't know. Political. What? No. What is? What am I ordering at Hibachi? Going to just get teriyaki chicken now. I have no specific hibachi order. I will order whatever strikes my fancy at the time. What about you boys?
Steak and chicken every time.
Hell yeah.
Yes, definitely steak. Can't really think of anything else.
Been Mints Racer Nips. If you could only watch one of the games tonight, would you choose basketball or football? Basketball.
Shooty hoops.
Me and Mario will be at the game. I don't know, but are you going?
No. I'm gonna be. I'm gonna go to Thursday's game. I think with Alice, bring kid. Are you and he who must probably name me doing whiskey and wine later? It's from Sam Layers. No, we're not doing whiskey and wine. Unfortunately, apparently there wasn't a ton of sponsor interest in the game, which is a bummer. As the bench, what's the Saints' plan for defending Zacchaeus on Sunday? Oh my God, I forgot. What's that guy's name again that tore him up last time out? Zacchaeus Smith?
I can't remember the
Is
pronunciation.
it Smith?
No, it's Zacchaeus. That's his last name. Was with a Z. He had 2 touchdowns last game.
Damn, dude. Yes, and I did. According to Justin Blanchard, I did see that the makers of Retro Ball have a soccer game as well. I'd be intrigued. Check it out. Ask the bench. Is this Saints team the grittiest of all time? I mean, I think some of those late 80s Dome Patrol teams probably were more gritty because that's just a more gritty era of football in general. But it's certainly the grittiest of the Sean Payton era and the grittiest of the modern day Saints, without a doubt. Ask the bench. Best fajitas in Baton Rouge.
You got to go to New Orleans.
Danny's a hater on Mexican food in Baton Rouge. I mean, look, I do love the environment at Superior and everything, but I don't know if I'm going to sit here and say the best fajitas. There may be better fajitas out there that I don't know about. Mario, are you a New Orleans elitist like Danny, or do you have some fajitas in BR?
Caliente has really good fajitas.
Oh, really?
By my house, yeah.
Okay.
By my apartment.
Right on. I mean, look, dude, fajitas also pretty hard to screw up, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, come on, it's an incredible, and everything can always be done better, but fajitas, like, bad fajitas are still good. It's a bit like pizza in that way.
No bigger tease at a restaurant than when you see the fajitas going to somebody else's table.
Ooh.
See them smoking.
Steaming. I like bites of food, right? Like I like a crawfish tail with a piece of garlic, and then I suck the head, and it creates an incredible bite of food. A bite of a well-made fajita with a base of beans, rice, 1 shrimp, 1 steak, onions, guac, maybe a little sour cream, a little pico. Jeez, that is a good bite of food.
I'm so eating after this.
If you want the best Hispanic food in Louisiana, go to Kenner.
Okay.
Kenner.
Okay. Little tip there. See you tomorrow, y'all.
OTB, OT.
Brake Medics. Brake repair anywhere. Our ASC certified techs are